7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 305. I'm your host, Travis. Welcome into the TLR Coatings studio here. We are going to break down all the action from round 16 of the 2025 Supercross season from Denver there. We are here, show presented by Rev X Products, and we highlight their Max Power Oil additive here. Make sure to get yourself Max Power for your single-cylinder 4-stroke motor. So all your dirt bikes, all your pit bikes will all take that stuff, and it's awesome. Improves your lifespan, helps keep engine temperatures down. Actually, will make the engine slightly faster, but get some for yourself. There will be a link in the description down below, and make sure to get that all handled here because, as we all know, especially in the northern states here, it is basically riding season now. I have some. I got to put it in my bikes here as I get those ready to rock and roll. Now, I'm not alone here in studio, as you guys saw at the beginning. I have the usual cohorts with me here. I have Justin and Cole. Hey, boys.
Hey. What's crack-a-lackin'?
You navving the neighborhood over there or what?
Yep.
Sweet.
I'm going to nav through this show.
Sweet. So, all right. Let's turn you down just
You need to navigate that hat on your head a little differently.
Look, dude, it is very tricky with the what's it called? With the headphones on. So, you know what? We're fine.
I look pretty good, no?
So, yeah, I mean, you're fine. You have that's a high-quality melon hat. This is a fucking Smokin' Joe camel hat from the 1990s. There's a difference.
Did you wear a 90s hat to match your 90s shirt?
Dude, how about this? Like, look at this.
So, I don't know.
Thanks to Alias MX.
Is it Tomac?
I don't know. We're going to have to ask Eric.
Ask Eric.
We're going to have to ask Eric when we call him.
Today's debate.
All right, so we got a full pack show coming up here. We're going to break down the 450 class. We're going to break down the 250 class. We're going to break down some fun stuff in halftime here. Let's see, what do I got here
Travis
for halftime?
calls it fun stuff. I don't think it's going to be fun
I have
stuff.
a rant. I have some
Shocking,
silly season stuff to talk about. Some new interesting stuff I figured out this week. We're going to do
like actually journalism? Or?
No, I heard it through the grapevine here.
Do you think Travis does journalism?
Yeah, that's a joke.
Wow.
Okay, so what podcast are you here from?
We'll talk about that off the air.
Yeah.
We are going to have our 250 race recap brought to you by Flo Racing. Did you do a Rev X segment?
I did.
Okay,
we got a couple in already.
We're going to have a Rev X segment here. Alias MX going to bring you Eric Grondahl here in a little while, and Adept Creative Co. is going to bring you, hopefully, Mr. Kevin Moranz here. We're going to try to call him. So,
Mr. Moneybags.
Mr. Moneybags.
That is crazy. And they say electricity isn't in the air. Welcome to the ether, boys.
What the hell are you talking about, Einstein?
Why does this do this? If I do this, it's making noise. Anyway.
That's also energy.
Yeah, it is. It's not a joke. So, with that being said here, first thing we're going to jump into is we're going to try to call Mr. Kevin Moranz here. As I said, brought to you by our friends at Adept Creative Co. Eric 645. They were picking up burritos for dinner is what he told me.
Chicken?
I don't know. Yeah.
What's up, Moneybags?
Moneybag Moranz.
Hello?
Yo, Moneybag Moranz, what's up, buddy?
How you guys doing?
Great. How are you, sir?
Oh, you sound great.
Kev sounds happy right now. I wonder why.
Yeah, dude. Kev stoked, that's for sure. I am going through the mountains, though, so chance of me losing you may be pretty good.
That's okay. No problem. If it happens, shit happens. So anyway, thanks for joining us, buddy. Kevin Moranz brought to you by Adept Creative Co. All right, Kev, let's talk about – I got to ask. How much shit did the guys give you for that start in the second part of that Pulp MX race?
Well, really? Like, what do you mean by the guys? Who are we talking about?
The other guys you raced.
There was a select couple that say they didn't hear it, but they told everybody before they started the stagger start situation that, hey, not normal stagger start. It's fair game. As soon as the green flag waves, you can do whatever you want. You do just have to go in between the berm and the top block. You can't go around either of them. You just go between the berm and the top block, but you don't necessarily have to wait.
Okay.
So they told everybody.
Okay.
Whether people didn't hear it, because I had heard from like Grant Harlan, he said he was on the very far left of the gate.
Yep.
And they were talking about in the middle, like where the doghouse is.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit farther right. So maybe they did get that. Like I just don't think they were paying attention. Let's put it that way.
Interesting.
So I heard that some people didn't really hear about it, but like I was even talking to him about Chiz, because Chiz, I really expected Chiz to win. Obviously, I don't think if I wouldn't have taken advantage of the new rule change and he wouldn't have got caught up, I think Chiz would have won it.
Yeah.
So I even told him, and because he was the only one that was hit the triple that we were all hitting last night, but I wasn't hitting it that day because of how it was still sandy and the track was not worked in yet because it hadn't been ridden on. So I told him, after he won the first one, I told him, good job. I said, hey, I'm not hitting that triple, so watch out for me if you're right behind me. And two, I was like, if you're coming up on me, dude, just give me a red.
Yeah.
Trying to fight you for this. I wanted him to kind of win because all of it goes to Jerry if he wins. Mm-hmm. But also, I was like, just don't take me out. I want to at least get second kind of deal.
Yeah.
So then I told him before I was going off, I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know, it looks like everybody's lining up at their right wheel or to the right of the next bike. I was like, I'm telling you, I'm going left. So I told him before I even took off the gate what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. And he even said, he's like, yeah, but it's not really going to change much, I don't think. We're all going to swarm out wide on each other, and then everybody's just going to pinch back in. Well, luckily it worked out in my favor because not very many people thought about putting their wheel on the other side.
Yeah.
But also, I've also heard that Thule was lining the first people up. Well, by the time the last couple were lined up, I didn't have Thule lining me up. I had somebody else that was lining me up, and I kind of asked, hey, do I have to have my tire on this side, or can I change it up? And he didn't tell me no, kind of deal. So I was like, all right, well, fair game. So I lined my wheel up on the left side, and as soon as the flag flew, your boy hammered down.
Hate the game, not the player.
Exactly. Well, I'll be honest, dude. When that happened, when you finished second, I was like, sweet, he finished second. But I'm like, this is going to be rough here because the track doesn't seem to have a whole lot of passing opportunities. And then when you lined up and did that move, I was like, oh, here come the protest. Oh, here they come. And then they were like, nope, fair game. And I'm like, all right, never mind. We're good. We're on.
Yeah. Well, I literally just got off the phone with my brother, too, because he was watching via the same link. And he told me, he was like, dude, as soon as you took off and, they were talking about how that wasn't allowed and all this stuff, Colton, he was literally like, dude, I thought you just threw away your whole race because he's like, I thought you were just doing it because you thought you could get away with it.
Yeah.
Because, it's not an actual AMA sanctioned race.
Yeah.
I was like, Colton, you think I have much bigger balls than I really have. Because if I just got second in the first race and I was going to risk it all on a whim of maybe not getting docked, I was like, absolutely not, buddy. I was like, I took advantage of the rules that were stated to us. And I'm happy I said something in my interview afterwards because I didn't realize that was something they just did on the whim right before we took off and changed that up. Yeah. Because, the announcers didn't know. So, Phil and JB were, kind of shitting on me because they didn't understand what was going on. So thank goodness I said something in the after-race interview to kind of explain myself.
Yeah. No, it was very controversial there during that entire second part of the main of what's happening? Why did he do that? Is that allowed? And everybody was kind of like, I don't know, but that's very strange that he did that. And because obviously, you know how it is. We do a regular restart like that. It's no, you cannot pass until you get to that line. But if they said that, then is what it is.
Yeah, and they didn't film, or at least they didn't have it on camera very good of the actual start. It was kind of zoomed in on a couple guys. Mm-hmm. So if you kind of have a little bit zoomed out version, you see a good amount of dudes kind of just going haywire. They didn't quite go as haywire as I did. They didn't take advantage of it as fully as I did. But you see other people moving, so it wasn't it was only Chiz and I that knew. Even Devin Simonson saw that he was 2 in front of me, right, on the restart. Yep. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm the only dude that's lined up left. I was licking my chops let's do it. And right before, the 30 card went up, he looks back, sees what I'm doing. He backs up, puts his wheel to the left. I'm like, you son of a bitch. So he did the same thing as me, but yeah, dude, I took advantage of what they told us.
No, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. So I'll be
Yeah,
interested
super
to
cool.
listen to Pulp this week and see how much money you actually win here, because I know they said 25, but they always get these late entries coming in here on Monday. So I'll be interested to see where they actually land with it here.
Yep.
So this is the point where I ask for your email to send you a sponsorship packet for the show, because now I know you guys.
Funny guy.
I have jokes. So okay, so let's talk about the real race then here. Yesterday, how was that? How'd that go for you? I mean, we were in the middle,
Honestly, probably the most stoked that I could have been. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this from any other racers, but after a race, like after I race, I sleep like absolute doggy doo-doo.
Yep.
Like I never sleep good because my heart rate seems to be so high. I'm restless.
Yep.
You know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we did not race a full main event, but we had one practice and two gnarly LCQ style races back to back in elevation. So I slept like crap, and I'm still like, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm still dealing with this cold BS
Yep.
that I've had since Foxborough.
Yep.
I'm still coughing up nasty green stuff out of my lungs and stuff like that. I have so much snot in my nose at all times. It's insane. Like, I've never had so much mucus related stuff. So I'm not feeling great. I got horrible sleep. I got probably 4.5 hours worth of sleep Friday night before the races.
Yep.
And I also wear contacts, and this is kind of just all tackling on top of each other, but I wear contacts, and I wear the ones you keep in for a month, and then you change them. Well, I'm kind of ending up, as soon as I get to where I'm going in Salt Lake City, I'm going to rip my contacts out. But I was too nervous to take them out the night after the LCQ race and put new ones in, because I didn't want to irritate my eyes or somehow pinch my eye or scratch it or something like that.
Yep.
So my eyes were super heavy all day yesterday,
Okay.
but I didn't know if it was because of my contacts, right? And they were kind of like timing out. And then I also didn't know if it was just because I was tired, because I slept like crap. Like, I went to bed at 11, woke up at 2 to go pee. I always have to pee in the middle of the night.
Yep.
I could not go back to bed. So, like, I wear this Oura ring that tracks my sleep, and it gives you different colors based off of what type of sleep you're in. And white means that you're, like, awake. And I was white, so I was awake from 2 a.m. to just past 5 a.m.
Yep.
So I was tossing and turning for 3 hours trying to get back to sleep. And just, like, I felt like I could have just started my day at 2 a.m. I could have got up and been fine, but I was like, by the time the night show rolls around, I'm going to be toast.
Yep.
So, long story short, I finally went to bed at like 5 a.m., got up at like 6:30, so I got maybe, 4.5 hours of sleep. Went to the track, was kind of so-so in qualifying. I already knew the track pretty well because I did the racing earlier, so I didn't really stress, free practice too much. I needed to figure out that quad that I finally figured out in the last qualifying session, but qualifying was so-so for me. Heat race, so like in between night show or qualifying and night show, like I laid down. I didn't take any naps or anything like that because I was too nervous of napping and then being even more tired. But I just laid down, tried to get fluids. Like, I couldn't eat. I wasn't hungry, but so like it's just tough. I had to force feed myself because I knew I needed the calories. And then going into the heat race, I was actually stoked about. Like, I'm hoping we got a good amount of it in the vlog or for the vlog this week. But I was like duking it out. Like, Nichols and I were playing cat and mouse like no other. Like, to the point, like, I was telling Colton this too. So Colton and I used to play a cutoff game, like pit bikes, where you cut each other off in every corner. You expect it, you brake check, you cut down, you cut the other guy off in the next corner.
Yep.
Like, it was literally like that with Nichols and I for like 2 laps. And he got me pretty good right before the Supercross triple. So you hit the finish line, go right, go left. He got me pretty good right there. And I cut down enough to have some momentum when I landed. So as soon as I landed, I had a good angle that I could take on him. And I told myself, I was like, which is probably not great, but it kind of pissed me off the way he came into me and rode me high. So I was like, I don't give 2 shits if I take both of us to the ground. Like, I'm fucking taking this guy's line. So I cut hard over and hit him pretty good. And it was like a perfect block pass type situation because I went forward. Obviously, like, whatever, got around him, was moving forward, got around Grant. So then that put me into 8th, and I was like, all right, perfect. Like, Nichols is going to be coming back for me. I can kind of let him by so he doesn't do me too dirty. I can stay in front of Grant. I'll be fine. Yep. And then all of a sudden, Craig comes out of nowhere that I didn't know about. And I'm like, bro. So then I'm back in 10th, And then Savachi gets around me. That puts me at 11th. And I was like, at that point with like 2 laps left, I was like, I got to conserve energy for the LCQ. Like, I'm not going to pass these dudes. Like, it's just not going to happen for me in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
So, conserved energy, went up to the LCQ, and obviously was super stoked at the start, rode my race, kind of just rode it in to an extent, which was awesome. And then in the main event, with how crappy I was feeling, how tired I was feeling, coughing up stuff, and, you know, just hacking up a lung pretty much, I talked myself out of it right before I went into right before we started the main event. But I even was like, dude, like, as long as I don't get last, if I get 21st, 20th, like, I'm happy I'm in the main event. Like, I just want to get some points. You know, I wasn't expecting much because of the way I was feeling. But on the line, I was kind of like, dude, don't talk yourself out of it until you're in the middle of the race and you're dog shit tired. Like, you can get a good start, see where you're at, and just try to push forward. If you hit a wall, you hit a wall. Like, it is what it is. And ended up getting a decent start and rolled right behind Noren and Chiz until like about the 15-minute mark, dude. Like, I was right there with Chiz the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I was riding good. I was just riding smooth. I was trying to breathe. I didn't have a ton of pressure from behind because I was up in a good little slot. And we were kind of pulling away from the guys that were right behind us. And, yeah, just allowed me to flow as much as possible, which was huge with not being able to breathe, not feeling good. Like, if you can flow and not be stressed about getting T-boned in every corner, it allows you to ride more open and more freely. So then you're not using as much energy. You can breathe a little bit easier. And, yeah, dude, like, I was super stoked with my main event because I stuck it in there and rode and hit all the lines, hit the quad every lap almost for the entire main event and stayed pretty close to Chiz until, like, the last 2 or 3 laps. But was pretty stoked on it, to be very honest.
Is that tie your best finish for the year, or did you get a 16th at some
That
point?
that ties my best dry race finish. I got 15th in the Mutter, but
okay.
That ties my best. I got 17th in Indy because your boy passed me with like a 10th of a second.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna talk about him tonight. It was rough yesterday, but that's okay.
Yeah,
and it's not my boy;
okay.
it's Justin's boy. Okay, so
yeah, I know.
And I mean, to be honest, I feel like you're right. You're right in there where you should be. Right, like you, Chiz, and Noren. I look at you guys all kind of on the same level at this point. And then when you like Cade, I guess I could even throw him in there a little bit. But then once you get past Cade, then everybody else, I'm kind of like, yep, this is how it should shake out, basically. So.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. You got any thoughts on that whole Deegan situation last night? No comments from the peanut gallery over here. We're going to talk about this later, you two.
Nothing too crazy, to be honest. My thoughts, dude's a racing incident. It's not like he came for his front wheel and absolutely clobbered him. Like, you're coming into momentum, and Deegan technically had the line. He had the inside. Like, yeah, he didn't have the wheel, but he had the positioning. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And for what happened to Davies in qualifying in the exact same corner with the exact same dude, you know, just like he said, like maybe he should have handled it different, but at the same time, he's pushing because he doesn't want to give Deegan the edge because they only have 2 laps left.
Yep.
Like, it just is what it is. I don't think it was too dirty. Obviously, between teammates, kind of sucks. But, you know, I don't think you can be mad about it. One way or the other, it is what it is. Like, was it a little dirty? Maybe, but it was not dirty enough to the point where anybody should be mad about it. Like, that was racing.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't think it was that bad.
Now, in practice, different story. That was a bit gnarly, like, to be doing that kind of stuff in practice. But in racing, it is what it is.
Yeah, but and I heard an interview and take it for what it is, and Deegan was like, dude, like, I didn't expect him to try to blow around me on the outside in practice there. He's like, so that was kind of a oopsie.
Yeah.
Which it's like, okay, cool, I guess I'll give you that one then. So, but yeah, so, okay, well, that's, you know, it's Deegan race, so there's nothing else to talk about but Deegan's race, so.
Yeah.
All right, so what's our plan with the funds we're gonna secure here?
I was gonna say 25 G's. What are we doing with it?
Doing the full outdoor series now?
Well, 10% of it's going to Jerry.
Yep.
So I don't know what that looks like for my total, but it'd probably be somewhere around that 22 to 25 mark. And then I don't really know. Like, there's nothing specific that it's going to go into besides just back into the program in some sense. It's going to give me some more funding for outdoors if I want to do some more of them. And then also, like, you know, I don't really know what my financial contribution is going to be if we end up moving into a semi, but it gives me a little bit of room to wiggle with. to kind of expand on the program, or at least my biggest thing is I want to put it back into my training. So I did the 1 month at the Worx compound this past year, preseason. Hopefully they will allow me to come back and do something similar like that. I would love to do 2 months instead of just 1 month, as long as I'm healthy, because my injury is kind of what set that back a little bit. But and then I'm gonna give. It's not gonna be like multiple thousands of dollars to everybody on my team, but I'm gonna give some bonuses out to the team if I take Rachel on a nice vacation. Like, enjoy it a little bit, but we're not gonna go haywire and go spend it on anything stupid.
Yeah, Travis said go put it all on crypto.
Yeah, hard pass, buddy.
XRP to the moon. That's what I got. So,
Yeah.
you two got anything else for Kev here?
No, just
What would you guys expect me to spend it on, or what would you guys do in my case?
I mean, I would figure it would go right back into the program. It seems kind of historically anybody who's won that race has put it right back into their program and had a hell of a next season after that. So
yeah, so like that's even what I told. Like as soon as I got done with the race, the next day at track walk, because I got my track built. Like that race is what catapults me into getting Dirtworks out to building my Supercross track in the first place.
Right.
So I went over to Dirtworks afterwards because it hasn't been rebuilt in, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Because like obviously last year was horrible for me, monetary wise and racing wise. So I walked over there. I was like, hey, I might be able to hire you guys to come out and fix up my track again. So keep me in mind, kind of deal. Yeah. So yeah, like it's going to go back into the program in some fashion, whether that's going into the new setup we have next year. If we end up in a new setup next year, or back into the track, back into the program, back into the crew, like it's not just, going to be spent on something stupid.
No, I'm with Cole. I expect 2 months at the Lawrence compound because I think that's very beneficial for you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, bonuses to the team. Obviously, Rachel needs a little something here, a.k.a. a vacation that's not at the races.
Yeah.
And,
set up shop at the top of the Four Seasons.
Then we'll see you at least, half the outdoors. So we can get into SMX here for sure.
Yeah, so I will say, that's why I was happy with the performance last night. Because, like, damn, dude, like, the more points I stack right now, or the less outdoors I have to do.
Yeah. Yep. So that's I mean that's where it would go if I was you.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
What about you, Stubby? Anything?
Just training, same thing Kev said. I mean, I think it's kind of a simple answer. I mean, you're not going to spend it on anything lavish. Just keep doing the program. Just keep building the program more and more. Obviously working. So
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So
love to see it. We're all pumped for you. So.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a cool one. As I was kind of like telling my dad, is like, dude, I've gotten second in a lot of things. Like Vegas when I was 8 years old, like on the podium, but second. Like I was winning the whole thing, wrecked like with 2 laps left, ended up second. The Pulp MX race, the last time I was there, ended up second. Like a couple different national championships and stuff like that. Not like Loretta's, but like Ponca and other bigger races. Don't have any number ones, but I got a good amount of seconds. So like to actually like win and get like that number 1 play, even though it's like the LCQ race kind of thing, I was like, that it's just cool to me. I was stoked.
And this one actually pays because the other ones don't.
Yes, exactly.
This right here is just a prime example of us talking about we need a feeder series where like, and to be honest with you, Kev, I think you're on that verge of like either being in the main show of Supercross for it to go elite / being one of the top guys in the feeder series that can get that call up at any point if there's an injury, But, like, think about if you had a series where it was like, you were battling for wins and podiums in that series all the time. And, yes, maybe it's not the top one, but you're the fucking AAA group, essentially.
Or like Xfinity of NASCAR or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just because, like, you talking about how good it feels to actually win, like, that to me says, okay, cool. Like, let's give these guys something here where they can actually win it. Because otherwise, it's like you are staring at 450 main events going, I'm not Jet Lawrence. I'm not Eli Tomac. I'm not those guys. My chances of that, unless it's a complete shit show mutter, are very slim to none, in all honesty. And I know you would admit that. So,
yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
Shit on me a little bit more. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's such a fucking dick.
I am. Hey, you want me to
No,
make
no. Like, he's fully correct though. Like,
Oh, yes.
But that's one thing I'll say is I've even like had some other opportunities in the past, right? Like I could do the, I guess the AMSOIL arena cross type stuff is starting to come back.
Yeah.
But like for me, that stuff's cool and all, but and there's other arena cross series, there's other races to do that you could be a top 3 dude, you could be a podium guy. I personally have more pride in it, and I get more satisfaction out of being in a 450 main event the way it is because it's so stacked than being at a smaller tier race. Like, I'd rather be in the main event towards the back than on the podium in a smaller tier race. Unless, like, the money is just insane, like, crazy like that. But I get so much satisfaction out of being at the top of the sport and being in the main show than being at a lesser series, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
just, like, mentally and, like, makes me happier with what I have going on.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And in all
100%.
justification, when we talk about making Supercross elite of elite, you're not one of the guys that were like, clippy, motherfucker, like, we don't want you
Yeah,
here.
you're not a plumber.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's like, yeah, and like I said, I feel like you're right on that verge of, like, you're either in that main show there, if it were in my mind to be perfect of, like, okay, cool, we've got the elite, you know, Monster Energy Supercross here, and then that still...
Like, if
Still
it was Formula
prestige-
1 style,
Yeah,
and they had
like
and they had a
Formula 2 or
reserve
whatever.
driver, Kev
Yeah.
would be a perfect reserve driver.
Yes,
That's what you're
exactly.
trying to get,
Exactly.
so.
Yes. I'm not, my words aren't coming to me correctly here, but I think you're picking up what I'm laying down of just like, yeah, this is all that. Now for me to
100% I am.
Now for me to boost your ego a little bit here before we let you go, because we got to get to Eric here in a couple of minutes. My kid yesterday is like, Dad, did you know that Kev is in the new Supercross game? Because the neighbor kid has it. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't think I am.
Oh, no, you are. You, trust me, you are. Because they...
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, 100%.
Kev wants royalties
'Cause she
now.
came
It's like,
home...
yeah, where the
she-
fuck's
I've had
my
like 4
check?
people tell me I'm not.
She came home... Well, it somehow
Is
you're
it the
in...
newest one or the last one?
I believe it's the newest one.
See,
Maybe
you
it's
better
the
check.
last
You
one.
better check.
You're in one of them, right? And-
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the last one. 'Cause
Okay.
The newest one, I don't think I'm in. for some
Okay.
reason.
All right. So you're in the last
Haven't
one.
asked.
Whatever. Anyway, the neighbor kid has one of them that you're in, right? And Ellie obviously sees you, and she comes home, tells Ashley or whatever, and we laugh. And then she's telling me yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, Mom told me. She said that you saw him in there or whatever. She goes, I didn't know he was that famous. And I just bust
Oh, my
out laughing.
goodness.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you.
He's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and I laugh because me and Ashley all the time are like, she doesn't understand the gift that she has with us being able to be around you. And like, most people would kill to be able to walk into any pit in that Supercross area, in those Supercross pits, and just act like they own the place like we do. And she doesn't even realize how cool that is until she gets older, and we just laugh. Because to her, it's just normal. Like, if we go to the race, there's zero reason we should not hang out with Big Kev, and there is zero reason we should not be in his pit. We know him.
Yeah.
He's our friend. We should be there. But she just doesn't have that realization because she's 10. So it's just normal to her, and we just laugh about it because we're like, man, this is... One day you will realize what this really is, and it will... Your mind will go... and just blow up. So,
Well, in all fairness,
That's hilarious.
Kev is famous in his own mind.
yeah.
I was gonna say easy on the famous one because like what I always tell people is like when they ask me that, are you famous? I was like, I am well known in my industry, but anybody out of my industry has no idea who I am.
Well,
so like easy on the famous situation.
That's pretty much everybody in
I mean,
this
Kev
industry.
does talk about himself in the third person, so he is famous.
easy there.
Hey, what's the royalty on being in the video game? Do you get anything for that, or they just put you in it?
Absolutely not. You kidding me?
That's shit.
Yeah, probably
That's
good.
bullshit.
Good thing you're not in the last one then.
Yeah, fuck that.
Stick it to the man.
Well, nah, not too much.
I don't know. It's cool. It'd be cool to be in a video game.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but fucking, they're gonna make money off.
just another
You.
way.
I don't know what you want me to tell you, man.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
From what I understand, there's no money in those video games anyway, so I don't
Probably
know.
hasn't been in a long time.
Because they're fucking garbage. I don't know if you're into video games like I am. I like to play them quite a bit, and they're fucking trash.
The only Supercross video game I have is the third one. I haven't bought one since then.
No.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, because I've not played it, so this is me speculating. Probably shouldn't even say this.
Nope, go
But
ahead.
how is the new game compared to the old ones?
The 4 was good. It was a little more arcadey in 4, where you could kind of wheelie over stuff like Mad Skill style, and it was fun. And then they tried to tighten up the physics and stuff like that in like 5 and 6, and it just wasn't as fun. And then they put whoever was building the tracks for the game put inside berms in every corner, which made it super unrealistic in my mind.
Really?
Yeah, which was super weird. And then if you look at
Because some of the stuff. Go ahead.
yeah, in the newest one, what is it, SX25 or whatever? Like, even just looking at the gameplay footage, like all the jumps look super small, and the game doesn't really even look that hard. So
Yeah, like for me, like was one like we're getting so much better technology. I don't know how the graphics are not getting insanely better, but like for me, the choreography, I guess is what I'm trying to go for, of the dirt bike and the person,
physics.
100. Yeah, the physics of it.
Yeah.
100% unmatched. Like at least for me, Reflex is the best I've ever played. Like if I could just buy Reflex with all new maps, 100% I would do it.
Yeah.
I have not gotten to play the new Supercross games, but the physics of it do look a little bit goofy and not like as flowy. Let's put it that way.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
100%. Have you, and the last thing before we let you go, because we got Eric on the line, but you played MX bikes or a little MX simulator or any of that kind of stuff?
No, I never have because I've seen somebody play it. I think I played it for like all of 2 minutes and couldn't turn without wrecking at all. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Now those games, like, physics are a lot better, but they're actually hard. It's like playing a Gran Turismo or playing like a real simulator car game, which is cool. So I don't have enough time to commit to that shit.
What about the what's that new one? What's the new one that's coming out? That's
MX the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one will be really good.
I think so too.
That one is like 4 riders by riders kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's got a bunch of people who worked on Reflex are working on that also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that should be interesting to see how that turns out. So, all right, well, Kev, we appreciate you picking up here. Thank you so much. We will we'll try to hook up again next week here after the final round and see how next week goes for you.
Pockets ain't empty.
For sure.
Pockets ain't empty, cuz.
Pockets ain't empty.
So, all right, man. We'll talk to you next week, buddy. Appreciate it.
Solid, bud.
Alrighty, sounds good, boys.
Yep.
Later.
Love you. Bye. All right. Kevin Moranz, everybody, brought to you by Adept Creative Co. I'm not going to lie. This is very tricky trying to do, like, this bullshit while talking. And, like, I think it'll be easier. Like, that was tricky because no one's talking but him or all of us at the same time.
Well, if
basically,
he's talking, then the camera should be on all of us.
I know, which is what it was.
Okay.
I mean, I tried to do a couple where, like, you boys were, but you boys didn't say a whole lot, which, okay, it's fine. No
So
problem.
let's talk technology here.
Okay, cool. We
Do we
got a
have
couple
Eric on the
minutes.
line?
Eric needed a couple minutes, so we're good.
Okay. So this software won't pick up the mic and automatically kick it over to a camera?
It automatically puts it all together. So
yeah, but when I say something into this, it won't switch the camera. You got to do it. You got to finger
you have to
bang it.
manually do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of lame. You would think there's technology like when it detects sound coming through the mic, it would.
Whoops, that's not back there anymore.
I don't know.
There is,
So.
however, it that's kind of what what's it called does there. Opus that I use for the clips.
Correct. Yep.
Which works pretty well, and the more you do it, it works better, but it doesn't always work, which is why, especially in the early ones, we would have clips where I would be talking and it's looking at you. So
It knows who to look at.
yeah, so no, this old trusty here, which is the auto or the manual switcher here that I am doing myself here, and this is
Whoa.
weird too because I'm trying to look at you guys, but I don't know where to look. I don't know what to do with my hands.
So do me now. Giggity.
Oh, why is that not? That's blank now. I don't understand
Ah.
what's happening here.
That camera shut off probably.
Why'd that shut off?
Did
I
it?
don't understand. Let's see here.
We're gonna
Okay.
figure it
Oh,
out.
it's
Riveting radio.
Technical
Stop. What have you been doing?
Working. What have you been doing?
Working in the yard, mowing it.
Today in the
Living
rain?
life, dude.
Today in the rain?
I worked on my pole barn today a
Are
little
you
bit.
excited
trying
to
get-
really
get the
start
inside
living
done.
life since it's going to start getting nice out?
Dude, I'm so ready for it to get nice. Like we're right on the edge of it.
Yeah.
Shitty day.
Yeah, I know.
Super nice. Shitty day. Like
You going to the drag strip at all this year? Or you're not really into drag racing, are you? I mean, I know you're Jordan.
yeah,
or-
let's go. You going with me?
Dude,
I'm going to be going to Martin for the first time at the end of May. They got some the Pro Mod Shakedown or something.
Well, let me know.
I will. It's the 28th through the 31st.
I need somebody to fucking turn my air screw at Martin on a Wednesday.
Not.
So when you coming up to Martin on a Wednesday?
I'm not coming up to Martin on a Wednesday. I was talking about the drag strip.
Well, I
bro.
know, no shit, but we're talking about Martin. The
Oh,
dirt bike
I-
track's right next
I have
door.
no fucking
Um,
idea. I don't remember last time. I was
So
they
come on over
doing-
and spin my air screw.
do they have like Nitro Nationals or whatever anymore with the
yeah,
Nitro
they still
Top
do.
Fuel and
Yeah,
stuff?
they still
When
do
is
the
that?
funny car
Northern
stuff.
Nationals.
Northern Nationals is in August. Funny Cars in September.
When in August?
Like the second week
I'd
of August.
rather go to in the fall. They have Street Outlaws comes.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
dude,
I want to take.
I'd go to the Pro Mod Shakedown at the end of this month.
Well, I want to take the kid to experience what a Nitro Top Fuel or funny
Oh,
car
then
is
you want to
like.
go to the Northern Nationals,
Yeah.
and that's in
Or pony up and go down to
August.
Indy for the big boys.
No, we're not going that far.
Uh,
I don't need that much drag.
That's
I-
cool,
I've
but that's
lived at the
super
drag strip
fucking
before.
hectic.
I want my eyes to just burn of nitro.
Dude, I'm telling you, the end of this month, the Pro Mod Shakedown. It's like
Pro mods
that.
are nasty.
It's Pro Mod, Top Sportsman, Radio versus the World,
Oh,
275. Like it's a whole fucking deal.
Let me know. I'll go.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go there. It's gonna be the last Saturday in May, so I think it's like the 31st.
I know you don't do much on Fridays, but we could
I
go.
mean, I work, bro, and that's it.
We could hit up Kalamazoo Speedway. Fast Friday.
You know what? Kayla and Josh said that same thing to me last year, and then like I never got around to because they're like, "Why don't you just come and hang out there?"
I
'Cause,
kind of want
yeah,
to go there too.
I
No
mean, dude,
shit,
I-
let's go.
I
fucking
kind of
go.
want to go there. Like
Yeah.
the kid hasn't experienced this kind of stuff. I'm trying to
I'd
get
go.
the kid to experience.
Okay,
shit.
let's
I used
go.
to do all
Pony
that.
up this Friday, bitch.
Well, I don't know.
By the way, the Northern Nationals are the first weekend in August, the
Yep.
first and second. There.
And then I think the Funny Car Nationals are the first weekend of September.
Lots of dirt bike stuff here.
Yeah.
Lots.
When
of,
are we racing at Galesburg?
Oh my god.
when
here
are we doing
go.
what?
When are we racing at Galesburg?
Why are we racing at Galesburg?
You guys doing
Because
that
I
stupid-
told you I'm gonna outwheel you. If we got two beater ass cars and race the enduro class, the cheap class,
Yeah.
Daddy win.
All right.
Speaking of a lot of things, man, I miss going to Grattan all the time.
Yeah,
Dude.
Dirt Benegran.
I can't believe
I've never been there either.
Well, I mean, they shut down.
Yeah, I know they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, either before that I never went. Like I
Track
got
was are decent.
Have you
But-
been out to M40 since Shearing's owned it?
no.
Did you used to go to M40 way back in the day?
I went one time.
Yeah, how'd you like it back in the day?
I think
thought
we
it
can
was
get.
sick.
I think we can get an
It was
invite
all right.
now.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty sick.
I think we can get an invite now.
Okay.
People
Let me know.
like
We'll see.
I'm always interested.
Mr. Jamie was over here.
I'm always
Okay.
interested to ask people
I got
that
two of his frames.
because people were always like one or the other. They were like, I fucking hated it or I loved it. So I'm always interested to see people that actually rode it back in the day, if they liked it. Because
I
we used to
think-
go ride there all the time.
Yeah, I think for me, I remember liking it a lot because it was the first time I ever rode a 125. 'Cause I was like
okay.
riding a 150 and stuff, and then just getting on a big bike for the first time. It
Yeah.
was like, oh my god.
God forbid though you ever went there after it rained,
Oh, why was
just because
mud
everything ran down into the bottom.
No,
But
I'd
that
like
was
to
fun.
go back there and remember it. I don't know. I think they got a freestyle ramp.
Do they? I don't know. I was asking him about it the other day when he was here. He dropped off two 87 CR frames, I think they are, something like that. So we were talking. So
right on.
of course they're waiting for it to stop raining every other day too. Because then I was asking about the Supercross track. He's like, "Yeah,
Oh,
Noah
here
wants
we
me to get
fucking
that ready."
go.
Yeah, I want to ride fucking Supercross.
You know what track
Well, I do too. Let's go.
You know what
don't
track
have
you would have
any.
liked? You'd have never had a reason to ride there because you didn't run low shit. Was Tony Bentley's place? The dude who did the low suspension in the back
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
track was sick.
Calling Eric now. Eric Grondahl going to be brought to you by our friends at Alias MX here.
Too much shit to huck though, unless you're on a 250F.
Well, luckily he's got 450, so I think he'd
But this
be all
track's
right.
way overgrown at this point.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
It's all right. I'll put some mower blades on the front of it.
How's it going?
Eric Grondahl, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you'll enjoy our multi-camera setup we got going on here. We can stare at my face, we can stare at their face, or we can look at all of us at the same time. This is really great. And if
Well,
you
except for me.
Well, yeah, except for you. We're not that technologically advanced yet. But I got a guy in the corner here
Not
in
right
a couple
now,
of
though.
in a couple of
Well,
weeks.
he's not here.
He's not here right now. He's got another job. and he does Bible study on Monday, so he can't switch the Sunday for Monday shit. It's a lot, okay? But eventually he's going to be here, and he's way better at this stuff than I am, and, like, all of a sudden there's going to be stuff like, we're going to do everything.
The Lord is helping you, literally.
God blessed me.
So, like,
Literally, yeah.
the real question that everybody wants to know is, Eric, did you get chicken burritos?
No.
No.
I got a steak burrito bowl.
Okay.
All right.
And then a quesadilla I split with my little brother.
Nice.
So the second question.
I don't even know what it really is. It just looked amazing. The person in front of us ordered it, and I was just like...
Eric's like, I got to have it.
That's it.
I'm like, that looks amazing, but I can't do that whole thing and a burrito bowl. So, and then my brother was like, yeah, you want to split one? And I was like, no, I don't need it. We're good. And he's like, I'm doing it. And so we got it, and we ended up splitting that.
That's awesome.
You think I could Uber Eats to the studio?
Oh, my God.
Because I'm hungry now.
You could Uber Eats to here.
Really?
Yeah.
Chipotle?
Probably.
Gross.
Did you say gross? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I said.
Chipotle? Oh, he's a Qdoba guy.
Ew, no, neither.
He's like, I like real Mexican food.
They both suck. Yeah, real
He's like,
Mexican.
ew, Murcielago.
Oh, Jesus. Supercars. Yuck.
All right, so
Nobody's
second.
going to get that because what happened last week?
Oh. He done called you out.
Right, you're
He
right.
done called you out. Nobody's going to know what we're talking
I
about.
forgot that you messed up. You dropped the ball.
Travis
Dude,
is real pissed right now.
last week was rough. Okay, we had a rough week. The show was terrible.
They're like, why are the show's only an hour long?
I apologize to everyone, but we're back.
We're back and better than ever.
Wow, that's debatable.
So yeah,
This is the stupidest fucking podcast
And then it
out
will,
there.
and then it will only get better from here because, like I said, in a few weeks here, we're gonna have a guy in the corner here too, which he's not tech retarded like I am, so he is just crushing it.
All right.
Awesome.
Second topic of discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
We are debating who's on the Alias MX retro shirt
I said
that the
Tomac.
lovely Travis is wearing right now.
Bingo.
Show everybody.
Bingo.
Vanna White.
Bingo.
Show it to him.
Yeah, there
Check
we
that
go.
out.
That's
I think it's
cool 'cause
Eli.
it's
I
hard
think
to-
that's Eli on there. Is that Tomac?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah. Good old
Yeah.
Eli.
Travis,
who did
Travis
people
thought it
think
was
it was?
Bogle.
I did not. Shut the fuck up. Why are you saying that?
No. I asked him the same thing when he put it on, and I couldn't tell. And then I looked at the front fender. I'm like, oh, okay, that's 2013.
I could just tell by the way he was whipping it.
But I looked at it, and I'm like, well, that could either be Eli, that could be Bogle, or that could be Wilbur. But I'm like, it's more than likely Eli.
Over here trying
Well, no, I think it could have been Barsha.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Because didn't he win a title that year?
20. Yeah, I won 2 back to back.
11 and 12?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Eli just is like the go-to because I'm pretty much. I think all those shirts back in the day was just Eli was on them because obviously he was the favorite on that team. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy that shirt is now like considered vintage.
It's 12 years old.
2011, You know
Dude,
what I mean? That's
it's
crazy.
old.
Yep.
Don't worry. This gets
Yep.
worse as you get older, Cole. Gets way worse.
Well, yeah. I mean, I deal with it all the time when I go to the track, and I used to.
See all these dumb kids with their phones out all the time,
Well,
just
no,
only caring
like
about.
we would go racing.
No,
and
Cole is also has his phone out all the time.
yeah. Well, we would go to the
That's
races, and in the morning would be like the vintage races,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, "Look at those fucking guys on those lame twin shocks with the steel tank that they're bouncing their nuts off of." You know what I mean? And then now I'm that guy. I'm like, "Ooh, look at that 04 KX right there. Ooh,
That's-
look
you know
at
what?
that. Look at that 02 CR."
You're bringing up a good question, and this is the last. I know we're getting in the weeds, but that brings up a good point. And Wyman and me always have this conversation. Eric, I don't know when's the last time you've been to like a local race. Like it's probably been a while, right?
I'm trying to think.
Been a while.
Yeah, I mean probably.
Yeah. I did a local race at Southwick last year, like 2 weeks before the national.
All right,
And
so
that was, that's the only local race I've done.
all right, so maybe that might not be a good question because the NESC guys, like a lot of the people, they're like super dedicated. But like, my question was going to be, you know, and I don't know how much like local racing you did back in the day, but like when you go to a local race, and do you ever feel like none of the people you grew up with racing, you just don't see them anymore? That you're like, who are all these people? It feels like all these people that like rode in their backyard tracks back in the day. Now all the talent is gone, and just now they decided to race. Because we get that a lot in Michigan. We had a time where like We were known as the Michigan Mafia. And this is no disrespect to anybody racing now. Like, you're doing it for
Dude,
fun
we
or
had
whatever.
fast dudes. We had
But
some fast
now
dudes.
you go to a local race in Michigan, and you'll be lucky to get 150 people. And you, like, for us, we go there and, like,
Whoa, I
No,
wouldn't,
no,
I
I'm not
wouldn't,
so much
I
trying
wouldn't
to
say,
I wouldn't say
say
150
that.
people, but
Okay.
Open A used to be, 10, 11 dudes or whatever. Open A is now 3 guys.
all right, we used to get, like, 800 people back in the day, and we don't get those at local races anymore.
It's
For a regular local race, not an event.
Battle Creek.
At a regular race. I'm talking about you go to
Yeah.
a regular Dutch race on the
Yeah, they
weekend?
were telling me at Battle Creek that
Battle Creek.
opening weekend they had, God, it was a lot. It was multiple hundred.
Four to 500, I think.
Yeah, I think
Entries. That's entries, not rider specifically.
I'm talking about
it
riders.
it was over 300 for practice on Saturday alone, and then when they did the race, God, it was a lot. I wish I could remember the exact number, because I talked to some dudes and they told me what it was who are involved there. I think I talked to James and shoot, God, I'm blanking on his name now. He's gonna fucking hate me. I'm over it.
Elkins?
Anyway, but James Elkins.
yeah.
But there was another guy too. I can't think of his name. Anyway, but
Rude.
All right, for the most
Dude,
part in
brain
Michigan,
fart.
a lot of these tracks we don't get what we used to. So, like, my question to you was: do you ever get that feeling sometimes when you, the last time you were
NESC has
That's
10,000
what I mean.
people at
It's
every
not
fucking
it's
event.
not a good. It wasn't
No.
a good. It wasn't a good question.
No, it does not, Travis. No, it does not.
It's just
Well, Eric, I don't know about
No.
you.
this
in your
question was
area
because we're getting
growing up.
older. This is older. So
Yeah, like growing up, we would have two 40-man gates of 65s, and you had to ride a Consi, or if you were a bad dude, you actually made it into the second moto. What
Yeah,
was it
it
like
was the
that
same
when you
way
grew up?
for me.
Yeah.
It was the same way for me growing up. It started to die down a little bit once I got to like 85 Super Mini, is when a lot of the kids that I was racing kind of stopped racing. But yeah, definitely like 50s and 65s. There were a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it was full gates everywhere we went, and qualifiers at some, and now, I mean, I can't really say because I haven't been to any this year or last year, other than the one race that I did. But I have noticed within the last like 4 years going to local races that the 50 classes are growing again,
They
well,
are.
that's good.
I agree.
and
with
that
That's good.
they're not at like the full gate level yet like they were, but it's getting there.
Yeah, I think so.
And because it used to be like back in like, when I would do a couple races here and there, like outside of nationals and supercross from like 2015 to like 2019, there would be like 2 kids in the 50 class, and like that was it, and like 4 kids in the 65s. Like there was just nothing. And now it's the opposite. Now those classes are filling up, and it's more so the A classes that, they're only full at the beginning of the year because everyone's hungry and wants to race and wants something to do. But then as the season goes on, less and less people are showing up.
Yeah, I think another thing that maybe hurt the 65 classes is there was too many of them at one time. You'd had 67 to 9, and then
Yep.
10 to 11.
I think there's too many classes all around for everything.
Yeah,
I mean, why
like-
does C class?
I mean,
have
like back in the day, we
multiple
talk
classes?
about we talk about the full gates and the 80 kids lined up, but it was 65 7 to 11. You didn't have them
Like
split up.
I would
Or
be
85 7 to 11.
so much more stoked on going to a local race if I knew that I was getting, 2 20-minute motos at 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock or something like that, and like
Dude had this
like just
had the same
just trim the
conversation.
classes, give everyone a 15-minute moto. The pro class is a 20-minute moto or something like that, and there's absolutely no need for a fucking 450C class, like zero.
Oh, you're gonna really make Travis butthurt.
No. I had.
By the
this-
way, Travis does not ride 450.
I don't ride 450C. Okay,
Okay.
I did that when I started.
450D, my bad.
No. I did that when I started. I rode C class once, and I said, "Well, this is dumb. I won't be doing this again." But I've literally had this conversation with the vice president of D14. He was on the show last year, and I've literally had this conversation with him about like, why do we have so many classes? What the fuck is going on? How do we do this? Because yes, I'm the same as you. If I can show up, like for example, there is a track here that has a vintage series, and they do a whatever you want to call it, the GP support class or whatever, right?
They have a modern support.
Yeah,
class
modern
that we
support.
can go
That's
race.
what it is. Yes,
Yep.
where we can go race it, right? And so I was like, dude, the thing I love about this is I show up at 8:30 in the morning. I run my practice in both motos, and by noon, I'm done. I don't have to stay there all day. If I want to, they then have free practice after that, but whatever. I'm like, how do we do this on normal race days? And he's like, look, I would love to have less classes. He goes, the problem is, all these parents now, we live in 2025, everybody wants a fucking trophy. So I got to have a class so that Jimmy, who is a beginner on 65 at 7 years old, can ride 65,
Doesn't get his ass
beginner,
clapped and
7 to
discouraged.
9.
They're in the
yeah.
wrong sport if they're fucking looking for a trophy. for
No,
everyone.
that's
No, brother,
the
I'm with
problem.
you. I'm with you.
Just
Yeah.
like
Like,
like
what?
college boy junior
Be
14
better.
to 16, college
Yeah,
boy
like,
junior
why does
14 to
Loretta's-
18.
Why does Loretta's need a fucking 125 C class and then the 250C stock mod and then the opens?
I don't like. Well, back in the day,
Well,
those
because
stock and
at
mod
Loretta's,
had
the
more
C
weight.
class is huge, and they want
Oh yeah.
the most
Oh, I
money possible.
I know why they have it, but I'm just saying I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And like I remember when they were messing
Oh,
around
yeah.
with, we had the two-stroke class. Now the two-stroke class when Loretta's had it was pretty cool because you get a lot of like old guys that ran the nationals that just do it for fun. They'd show up, and then they took that away, and then they were messing around with going from 14 to 24 back to college boy to 16 to 20. I don't know. It's ridiculous. We all know it's a money grab, but like I look at some of the Loretta's classes and I'm like, dude, it's gotten so overcomplicated. It was just simple. It was stock mod. You rode 65 10 to 11, and then you got maybe depending on when your birthday was, you rode 7 to 11, or you just jumped 85 7 to 11. Now it's like you got 9 65 classes, and then the same thing with 85 classes, and then the super mini class. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the stock and
Yeah.
mod thing kind of bums me out too.
Yeah, because
like,
it's not really stock class
it's
anymore.
not really a stock class anymore. Like I thought that was
No,
super
it's
cool when you
not. It's
had
never
to go
been.
there and you could literally only have your suspension done or whatever, and everybody's rocking a stock pipe. Like none of all the shit we can get nowadays. Like I thought that part made Loretta's unique, and we don't have that anymore. So.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
But-
Damn factory editions.
Yeah, the factory editions ruin that. But I mean, it'd be pretty simple to do a stock and mod class, but restrict the factory editions from being in stock. Like all it is a rule.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. So, anyway, forgot to switch. There we go. Now we're good. Wow, we always get off on tangents with him, don't we?
we always fix the sport. With
I think
Eric
that's
on
a
the
At
good-
show.
I
least
think
we're
that's a good
talking
conversation,
about
though.
motocross this time.
Well, I mean, we could talk about other stuff. What do you want to talk about?
Travis's
Well, no,
Murcielago.
I'm just saying. At this time, we didn't get off on some random ass tangent about something not even to do with the sport.
I think that's a good conversation, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I really
yeah.
do, because
Yeah.
a lot of
I
these.
mean, we all grew up doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I remember back in the day, like just for Michigan, purposes, you'd get guys that would just like. I remember when Bowers used to come up here when he was moving up out of schoolboy class, and he just showed up to Redbud one time, and I mean, granted, a lot of people got super pissed because he waxed everybody, but they're like, "Why is Tyler here?" And Bowers is like, "Because I just want to ride with good dudes."
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a shot at anybody nowadays that rides A and the B classes and stuff. But I remember when Kyle Corman used to come up here all the time.
Kyle Corman.
When Sonny Drake showed up to Dutch one time for no absolute reason.
I remember
actually-
Cooper Webb showing up at Dutch on a 60.
Yeah, I actually remember Sonny Drake when he actually told who I think it might have been Bobby was working the dozer, and he told him, "Can I just work the dozer for the day? Because you really suck at it." And I'm like, only
Oh
Sonny
my
would say
God,
that
that
shit.
chapped Bobby's ass.
I'm
so
like,
bad.
only Sonny would say that shit.
That's
so
awesome.
I don't know, just
That's funny.
the old days, because like, nah, I don't know. Now it's not the same.
Justin loves the old days.
I do, man. I do.
Oh yeah,
I'm the old-
especially Stu's perfect season. God, he's in love with that.
I love the 2000s.
Hey, look,
amateur
he's
shit,
so
bro.
he's so in love with that he refuses to look at facts.
it'd be really fun, and I know Eric's on the phone, but we need to have James on the phone, or get James back on the show,
Yeah,
and just reminisce about old D14 stuff.
we could.
I
Like,
could,
anyway,
I
back
could have
there.
that. I could have that conversation for hours, bro.
Anyway, back to Eric here. So, Eric, do you think your boy should have punted Webb a little harder last night, or what?
Yes.
I mean, he definitely ran it in on him. That's for sure. I don't know if he would have done it much harder. He might have broken the dude's leg.
Well, then he might have won a title.
Yeah, but you can see he doesn't want to win it that way. Like he wants to win it straight up.
Mhm.
I can respect that.
He's made his mistakes. So now he just he's got to deal with it and just win the last 2 races. That's all he can do.
Although he did throw a grenade, so
That was awesome.
Yeah, the throat slit.
I thought, the
ripping
throat
the
slit or whatever
grenade
it was.
and
Yeah, that was interesting.
Wait. What did he do?
He
So
pulled a pin on the grenade after the race and threw it.
And I
he
think he
dropped
did a throat
bomb.
slit too. I think.
No, he said he did the grenade thing twice.
Okay, so that's what it was.
So,
All right.
yeah.
All right. I'm like,
That's
dude,
awesome.
these
I
antics
like
are
I don't
like
know
getting
how
out
I
of.
missed that.
I like the dances. I think
These
I do
antics
too.
are getting crazy, bro. Like, I
let's
don't
drop
know.
that bike and get a gritty going.
The funny thing is he said that him and his buddies, they were golfing Tuesday or something, and they were like, dude, you got to do this, you got to do that. He's like, guys, maybe I should win the race first, and then we can kind of figure this out. And then he's like, on the last lap, all I could think about. I was like, what am I gonna do when I go over the line? And I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, because the
This is
Philly.
getting
I
out of
like
control.
it though, like Coop rocking the baby.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Because
gunslinger.
But
the
it's
Philly
asleep,
thing,
dude.
the Philly thing, and AC even mentioned this on RDL. He's like, I don't think Chase was actually thinking about that, and then he's like, he almost forgot to do like the shooter because it got all the way to the backside of the finish in that
right,
little.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, he's definitely thinking about it, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what are you gonna do next? Like, you gonna like pretend to have a backpack on and you're carrying your
I
kid
remember.
around?
I mean,
like,
Stu used to break
Yeah.
the sprinkler out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
oh, he should do the sprinkler. That'd
The
be
sprinkler.
hilarious.
Let's
Yeah.
let's get the moonwalk.
Maybe
going.
he'll do the sniper at Salt Lake.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't care. Just keep
gotta
it
start
going.
naming the moves, just trademarking them.
Just keep it going.
Yeah.
I think everybody's having fun with this.
Although the
he
rock
could-
in the cradle, the
Oh,
baby thing was
definitely.
kind of
Just go on YouTube
Put
and
that title to bed, baby.
Oh,
Put
God.
that title to bed.
right.
Daddy
Ooh.
Webb. Put
These
put
guys
it
need to
bed.
watch NFL touchdown celebration
Yes.
compilations on YouTube all week.
Yes. Yes.
No, I mean, honestly, I was happy that he, and not that I would have expected him to, but I was happy that he just, once he parked him, and then he just said, see you later. He didn't try, brake checking him or, slowing the race up for people to catch him or, anything. He was just like, yep, all I can do is win. And whatever happens, happens.
He was
Yeah.
definitely hoping Malcolm though had a little bit more send in him.
Oh,
'cause
definitely.
Yeah.
I think we all were.
I think the real question is does Malcolm, does he punt Coop or does he just kind of run him high and then walk away from him? Because I don't know, man. Hats off to Jay Coop and the way Coop rode, but Malcolm, I think he could have sent it a little bit more in a couple areas because I think he was faster than both of them. I caught Coop every time, and they just made one more mistake, and
Yeah.
then Jay Coop capitalized and.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was really slow in that spot that Cooper got him in.
So I don't know. I mean, I was kind of hoping because I'm like, what we go to would have been seven if
Yeah,
you
it
would
would
have
have
passed
been
him.
7.
Yeah.
So even though that's rough, crazy shit could happen. Like if I was looking at 7 and I was like, all right, it's still unlikely, but if AP and Mookie go out there and get second and third, Chase wins it. I mean, we're looking at a possible title. I don't know. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I mean, last round though, I feel gloves should be off. Chad Reed,
The bunching.
09.
Oh,
Yes, bunching.
Putting
Bunching.
Stu over the
bunching's
tough block
not
there,
real.
but
Yeah.
I was kind of watching him and hoping he was going to wait a little bit longer, just sit on his wheel for maybe a couple more laps.
Mhm.
I do feel he went a little early,
Mm-hmm.
and I do feel the pass was aggressive. He did make contact. I could have set that up a little better, I think.
Yeah.
But Chase,
Yeah.
having the respect and being the guy that he is, I can see why he did it the way he did.
I
But
tell you
me,
what-
however, I probably would have handled it a little differently in this situation.
I
But
tell you what, though, when Jay
Yeah.
Coop was closing on Coop, though, and then Mookie made a run with those last 2 laps, all I can think of is Jay Coop's going in his head. He's thinking, Coop, you got to go, bro. You got to go. Because
I
I'm
bet
faster than you, and this dude he's closing. Because, you knew that Jay
I-
Coop wasn't going to pass him, but I'm just thinking Jay Coop's probably wrestling
Dude.
in his head.
Cooper.
Honestly, there was a part of me that was pretty confident that J. Coop was just gonna pass him and just say fuck it, and then use the excuse afterwards that Mookie was on my ass. I wasn't gonna lose a podium.
When he passed Mookie, I was like, nah, he's going to play it safe, play a buffer. But I thought the same thing. When Mookie caught a second win, I'm thinking, dude, J. Coop's probably screaming at Coop, dude, you got to go.
Well, he did two different takes on this.
Scenarios in his head.
Yeah, so in the press conference, he was like, yeah, I wasn't going to pass him, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when he did whatever it is, swap or whatever, how was your weekend? It was like, he was like, dude.
I mean, he was faster than Coop.
He's like, I was setting it up. I was going to go, and then, like, he would pull out just enough that I was like, okay, no. But, like, he's like, I was setting it up to pass him, so.
I mean, there was a couple times on that on-off before the right when they come back across the start. Like, there was a couple times I thought Coop, like, he put the wheel on him, and then you could saw he kind of, like, pivoted.
Well, that's because Webb was sick as shit last night. Like,
yeah,
did you guys pay attention after he did his podium interview, and they just kept the camera on him, and he's, like, struggling to stand up? I'm like, dude, homie is.
I mean, yeah.
Hurting.
But I'm looking at J. Coop and I'm like, yeah, he's not going to pass him.
Also at elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah, elevation
like
combined with sickness,
yeah.
like, yeah, it's not helping.
But I'm just like, dude, I'm like, hats off to J. Coop because if that was me.
You imagine if J. Coop could hit whoops?
Dude, I was impressed.
He'd have a win by now.
I was impressed we caught him skimming yesterday.
I mean, he was solid, and then I think I don't know. They probably were getting blue groove.
Well, race day live, Brayton was all.
I mean, that looked like the easiest whoop section all year long.
Oh,
for sure. I don't know, man. I honestly thought that J. Coop. There was a couple times this year I'm like, J. Coop's gonna get a dub, and then just, I mean, dude, what the heat race last weekend? I mean, I agree with AC what he said on RDL. That heat race, J. Coop looked like the fastest dude in the world on a Supercross track.
Yeah,
that was insane.
If Cooper Webb had a Mickey Mays butt patch, he would have passed him.
We're not doing this.
Unbelievable.
Fuck
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about
that. We're not talking about that. All right. So we'll go back to, and again here, no comments from the peanut gallery because I want to save this for our Deegan Danger Zone segment.
Oh boy.
Eric, thoughts on the Deegan thing?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what they were investigating or whatever on the pass. Like, it was clear as day. He didn't do anything dangerous. Like, it wasn't dirty. Yeah, it wasn't stupid or anything like that. It was just one of those, that was kind of a dick move. Like, you didn't need to clean him out, but he fully body checked him to make sure that he went over the berm.
Yeah.
And so to me, that was kind of lame. Like, dude, just race him straight up. Like, you don't need to, especially your teammate. And they've been all, in the beginning of the season, him and Deegan were best buds. Constantly Deegan would be going up to him on the camera and talking to him and hyping him up and all this stuff. And then as the year went on and Cole has gotten better, you don't see Deegan, going up to him like he's his boy anymore. And so I think, to me, that says that Davies has gotten into Deegan's head a little bit, and Deegan is trying to, be like, hey, fuck you, I'm still the guy.
He's
or whatever.
In his interviews, he's like, I want to prove that I'm the fastest guy because all the noise is saying Davies is the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. I still think Davies is the guy. He just got absolutely fucked by those lappers.
Yeah.
I mean, Deegan went from 3 seconds behind him to 0.9 in one lap because Davies came up on that train of 6 of them and none of them fucking moved. I was like, is this a joke right now?
Yeah.
Dude, there are blue flags everywhere and you guys are just like, nope, fuck the real race. I'm gonna keep battling for my 18th place.
I need that $200,
bro. At one point, when he split 2 lappers on the
quad, dude.
Yeah, when he split 2 lappers, I'm
I was so nervous.
I'm like,
that
dude, you
so
are playing
sketchy.
with fire. I'm like, you are playing with fire because if one of them just moves over an inch, you're done.
Yeah,
you are taking all 3 out.
Dude, that's the scariest thing ever is when you get on like an opposite rhythm as the person next to you too. So like they're coming down as you're going up, and you're just like, oh my god, if either of us fuck up by an inch, we're screwed.
Well, then one of them, I don't know who it was that he was doing. Like I don't know. Like Eric just said, the lappers were crazy, so I don't know who it was he was lapping. But those two specifically, when he went in between them, like one of them screwed up and like just faced the shit out of the two out. So like got even like looser and gooned out, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. And I gotta hand it to Davies too to just not comment anything on the podium.
They tried baiting him too.
They did big time, and it was just like, dude, at 17 years old, that's super impressive.
Yeah, kid's gonna be special.
Deegan, you can be the guy. You can be the guy right now, but let's see where you two are at 3 years from now.
Yeah, the other thing
I have a feeling it's going to be very different.
Oh yeah. The other thing I saw that was really cool too was just all the other riders that were coming up and.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like AP came
I
rolling
saw that
up.
video
Like
as
Jay
well.
Coop.
Like Savachi.
Joey's like, bro, I know.
Yeah, Joey was probably like.
I felt so bad because I'm a Joey guy. So like when Joey walked up and I watched that, I'm just like, part of me is like, and then the other part's like laughing because I'm like, he probably said, dude, I know.
Yeah, but that that kind of
It
solidifies to me like who the rest of the paddock's rooting for too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, big time. And I was not expecting all those boos. That surprised the hell out of me.
Well, the villain role is being filled, so.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
He owns the villain role, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now
The move wasn't bad. The interview was douche.
he owns the villain role now.
So.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
him. He's
Oh,
him,
what
and
else?
you can suck it.
We're gonna talk about this later. Calm her down. All right. Anything else from last night there, Eric, that you noticed? Want to comment on, etc.
The track sucked.
Yep, that's 100% truth.
I think Ray Charles watered it before the first.
The
Spot
track was
on.
just like so cookie cutter. Everyone do the same exact thing, and there's only one clear fast line around the whole entire track.
Yep. Not wrong.
It was just super boring. To be honest, I almost fell asleep.
Yeah, the 450 main was not entertaining. 250 was okay, and then the rest of the night was kind of like meh.
Yeah, usually the LCQs are fucking great, and they were kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Felt bad for Marchbanks though in that heat race. He's like, oh, traction. Nope, never mind.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling
This
you,
is
I
sweet.
think-
They watered it.
Ah, shit.
Nuts.
Never mind.
Yeah, I think they sent Ray Charles out there to water it.
Nah,
to be
you might
honest.
be right
Probably.
because that was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it was bad.
That was
It
terrible.
was bad. So.
Yeah, when they water those West Coast tracks too much, it's literally just an ice skating rink. It's the sketchiest thing that you could ever ride.
Well, the interesting thing too is they were saying on Friday that they'd put a ton of sand on the track also, because I think they're trying to make that dirt softer.
Yeah, good luck with
Which
that.
is really weird to me. But like the Pulp MX race, they were like, dude, it's so weird right now because they like, I don't even know if they mixed it in or they just threw it on top. I don't know what was going on.
They probably just threw it on top.
More, yeah, probably build the track, then put sand on top of it. Cool, great,
We'll
great
just
job.
backblade it. It'll be fine.
So
Yeah, no, I mean, there's not that much that you can do.
no, you would have to. God, you would have to
You know what used to be terrible? Sam Boyd Stadium. Dude,
filter and do that dirt so much to
I
get
remember
it
the
soft.
first time
Yep.
being out there, and like right after practice, just the whoops were blue groove at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember watching them, just like we're just gonna put the water down, and I'm watching them just drench the faces, and I'm like, that's not gonna go well.
It's not gonna be helpful.
That's not gonna
Yeah.
be terrible. And then Stu decided
It
he was
would be
wide open.
fine. It would be fine if they would just let it get like a tiny bit dusty. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
dust
tiny
is
bit
okay.
dusty is totally fine.
Which
I mean,
that,
look
that's
at
what they're trying to avoid, basically. So
Stupid.
yeah, it's what they do in the nationals. They don't want to get like if they see an ounce of dust on the track, they bitch, and that's why the tracks are always flooded for practice in the morning. And it's like a mud bog qualifier.
Yep.
And
Sounds
it's
like a
just
goat
like,
trail.
dude, what is this? Yeah, and that's why the tracks develop the way that they do, is because there only becomes one good line because everything was such a fucking mess all day long
Mm-hmm.
that it just develops to shit. Like,
Good luck in the bee practice. they
Yeah,
say.
fun, bro.
yeah, that's something, dude. That grinds my gears big time with the Nationals.
Yeah, like
It's
250B group, hold it wide open. 450B group, fuck right off.
Yep.
Except for at
Yep.
Southwick.
Yeah, except for at Southwick.
Even Southwick,
don't
though,
die.
like last year was better for sure. But I remember 2019 Southwick, I want to say, or 2022, one of those years. It was like mud cross. Like it wasn't. There was zero sand. It did not feel like sand at all. It was just the whole entire track was a swamp, and we didn't get an ounce of rain. And I like went up to Keith and I was like, dude, what the fuck was that? Like,
You went. No. You actually went up to Keith and you were like, ew.
Ew.
yeah. I was like, dude, why? And that's when he explained to me that I guess they freak out if they see an ounce of dust on the track during the day, and they only give them short amounts of time to water the track. So they have to just flood it. If it's going to be really hot out, they have to just flood the shit out of it so that no dust is popping up. It seems to me like they've gotten a little bit better about that, though, because I feel like last year there were like a couple nationals that we did start to see a little bit of dust. But I think it's because a lot of the top riders finally have had enough and just been like, fucking stop overwatering it. Like, you're making it dangerous for absolutely no reason. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is okay with a little bit of dust. I mean, shoot, there used to be racing growing up. There were tracks without watering systems and water trucks. Like, you just fucking raced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they should watch the GPs.
Euro style.
And it's
Just
not
watch the
like,
GPs.
and it's not like it'll ever get that bad because the watering systems that they have at the Nationals are so good. Like, I just wish that they didn't, like, you know, overanalyze things. I wish they would just let tracks develop more naturally and stop tilling them 20 feet deep, so every track develops the exact same, apart from Pala and Southwick, because Pala is hard packed and Southwick is sand.
Yeah.
But like Redbud, Millville, even Unadilla, Ironman, like they all develop identical because the dirt is pretty similar. Redbud is more closer to Southwick because it's definitely got that sand mixture into it. So Redbud honestly develops the best, in my opinion, especially when they don't rip it 2 feet deep. But yeah, all those other tracks, dude, they develop identical because they just rip it stupid deep, overwater the shit out of it, and then you get 2 foot tall braking bumps coming into every corner, and you get 10 ruts that fucking suck, and then you get one okay rut, and then you have the main line, and like that's it.
Follow the leader. Slot car racing.
Yeah.
Thunder Valley's real bad about that. Thunder Valley is terrible. Always has been.
I think there is a tweet out there somewhere from Eli lurking where AC was saying something about the track, and Eli, you know how he pops up on Twitter just randomly every once in a while, said something about like dust is okay.
Yeah.
Like, he was one of the guys screaming for it.
I think him and Zacho had this conversation because this was really bad in 2020, and Zacho's like, dude, I was fine with it. And Eli's like, you would be.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and then there was when Zach said he felt like the more he roosted Eli, the better chance he had at beating him. And Eli was just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He was basically like, that's like saying my career was me being a whole shot artist.
Yeah.
Eli's like, do you remember the beginning of my career? I couldn't get a whole shot to save my life.
Right.
Yeah.
So, fun water truck story. Were you there with me when the guy when they ran over his bike with the water truck?
No, but I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Oh, no. So get this, right? So I believe
this is at a national, or we're
bro,
going back to local?
This is
shit?
at Redbud.
National.
Last year,
No,
national weekend. I believe it was on Friday for amateur racing.
Oh, I was there, but I guess I didn't see this.
So, there's a water truck lane at Redbud between that tabletop and the rollers over by Larocco's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing there watching, and the water truck pulls up to the end there, and it sprays, and then it has to back directly down. Well, some dude, and I don't remember if it's the beginning of the race, end of the race, whatever, crashed over that tabletop and ends up in the water truck lane. And so this water truck's backing up, and I'm like, okay, he's going to stop, he's going to stop, he's going to stop. And all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, he's not going to stop. And then I just see the truck go boom, boom, and I'm like, oh, my God. Now, luckily, the guy got out of the way, but that truck definitely was on top of his bike. And it just, like, stopped. And then the dude got out of it, and then he pulled forward. And I was just like, holy
He's like, what the hell was
shit.
that?
What? So
I
if
can't
anybody
even
out
believe I
there is
saw that.
listening and knows who this guy is, I want to talk to
Yeah,
him.
I do too. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and I'm just like, oh my God, because I really thought, because the dude was still there as this truck's getting closer, and I really thought this dude was about to get run over by this water truck too.
Can you
Luckily, like I said,
imagine?
he got up, but they ran over that bike, and I'm like, wow.
What'd the bike look like? 'Cause
I don't
that's
know.
a lot
okay,
of weight,
so
dude.
so I was standing up there by the tunnel, right, looking out that way, so I could see it, but it was far enough down that it was kind of just over the crest of the hill, so I could tell the bike was there.
Mhm.
I could see obviously the water truck, but I couldn't really see. I do know he picked the bike up and like rode off, so it couldn't have been too terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, holy shit, that could have been so bad.
Facebook Marketplace, vet ridden,
Vet ridden, small crash.
It's kind of like when K-Dub fucking waterlogged the 450 in the pond, and then they just tried to give it back.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh man, yeah, dude, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen on like an amateur national.
that's pretty wild.
thing. So,
Pretty wild.
That's great.
anything else from you two for Eric?
No, man, we're good.
Eric, anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good.
We kept it short. We were pretty on time calling you, and it's only
We were
been
pretty on
37
topic as
minutes.
well.
Nope. One last question.
Yep.
Oh, okay. One
Well,
last question.
It's moto related, obviously.
Yeah, go ahead.
250 East next weekend. Who wins?
I got to pull for my boy RJ.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
But
I kind of figured
he's
that.
got to get it done. He's got to get it. He has to win, pretty much, right? He's 3
Yeah.
points down.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he pretty much
Yeah, so
obviously has to
he
win.
either needs a buffer, he needs a couple buffers in between, or he has to win.
Do you think that the three East Coast boys? I mean, obviously Thrasher and other people can get in there, but do you think Seth, RJ, and Tom can put it to Cole and Deegan, or do you think that they're going to be playing second fiddle and it's going to be those two, and then they're ringing up the rest of the podium?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Honestly, I feel like RJ has the best chance. I think he's the best on like the hard pack West Coast type dirt.
Okay.
Out of him and Hammaker and Vial.
Okay. All right.
In my opinion, he's the best on that style dirt. As far as Deegan and Davies go, I'd be putting my money on Davies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Deegan's checked
I
out
think-
for outdoors.
No, Deegan's taking bribes for next week.
No,
That's
Deegan's definitely still gonna want to win because he's not gonna like the people saying that he didn't win in East West. Shootout.
doubters.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yep.
true. I mean, I think that the East West shootout's going to be gnarly. The only thing I hope.
But I think he definitely got a bit of a gift.
Yeah.
Last night for sure.
The only thing, and I said this, I'd be happy with whether Tom, Seth, or RJ. I like all those guys, but I mean Seth, it'd be cool since he doesn't have one. But if Tom or RJ wins, the only thing though that I hope happens if RJ is gonna win the title, I hope he just rips a start and gaps within the first few laps and just kind of settles in, because I don't want to see him have to go into full send mode. It's cool for the rest of everybody else, but everybody that actually likes RJ, I don't really know if they want to see him go full send mode.
Yeah.
We don't need a whoop story from back in the day in the Geico days where he's just completely sideways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty used to watching RJ at this point.
Eric just clinches his
Doesn't really
teeth every
matter,
time.
but it definitely makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, buddy. Well, appreciate it. We will we'll call you next week too. Here, get you on, and I'm gonna really try to get you that email for the graphics with the logos here.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
one day.
No. Hey,
One day.
Did I not send you a text? I sat down to do it the other night, but I don't have a
Yeah.
couple of the logos on this hard drive. It's on my old computer. So
Yep.
I did try. I tried.
It'll be another 2 weeks before I get a text about, I thought it was on this hard drive, and then
You'll get it by the end of the year.
Eric,
yeah,
look,
by the
we'll
end
get
of the
there.
year,
We'll get there
We'll
when it's
have the
time.
logos. For the
Yeah, it'll be
look,
fine.
Look,
2026 will be here.
I was blowing the mind of the kid, my new tech kid, because I was like, he was like, "What are all these hard drives?" And I was like, "Well, you see, we have a ton of footage. And it takes up a lot of space. So literally, I think I have 5 on my desk right now, not counting the one that's hooked up to my computer right this second. So I think I'm 6." And he was like, "That is an insane amount of hard drives." I'm like, "Yeah, but you see, when you have this much, it takes an insanely big one to
Yeah.
replace all of these," which I did buy, but now I have to get everything filtered around to one to be able to do that. So anyway, yeah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. It's no big deal. We've been doing this for a long time. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get it to you. All right, I'm gonna get it to you.
All right.
I got
I'll
the
believe
shirt.
it when I see it.
I got the shirt. I appreciate. I'm wearing the shirt.
Hey, he's not gonna
It
hold his
looks
breath.
great.
Though. He's not gonna hold his breath though, because he would die.
Shut up, Justin.
Love you, pal.
Jesus.
Oh man.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
man.
We'll talk to you
Appreciate it.
next
All right.
week.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye. All right, Eric Grondahl, everybody.
Every
Brought
time
to
he
you
says
by
The love you
Alias
buy thing? You don't-
MX
you ain't down with
here.
that?
Nah, man, I'm not.
Why?
I'm
What's
not.
wrong with it?
Because
So,
there's only a few of my buddies that I actually say that to.
I
That
just
you
gotta-
actually love?
I
I
mean,
just got-
yeah.
You say love
Email.
you bye?
No,
It's,
just love you, bud.
To who?
Like, well, Wyman's one of them.
Every time you hang up the phone with him.
I don't talk to Wyman on the phone that much at all.
So you
anymore.
text him and say love you.
Oh,
No, only when we're talking, brother.
look at this. We
You
made
say
it.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, I do
Hey,
a lot.
hey,
I've known that motherfucker
hey.
for 20 plus years. What?
Could you two fucking pay attention for a
No.
Love you, brother.
second? We made it on the.
Are you being a dick right now?
We made it on the Abide Denver recap.
Oh.
I don't
It
know what
was,
that
I
is.
think, your tweet actually.
All right.
Deeg pass was greasy. Interview was top notch. Douche though.
Yep.
That's you. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, what'd they do? Did they
Yeah, he
text-
screenshotted it. It's on there. Somebody just sent it to me and was like, "Yeah, you guys made it."
It's hot.
Actually, shout out Cody Ryan who said that. So,
Hell yeah. Look
don't
at
know what a
me,
bite is.
dude.
all right.
The
Well,
voice of the
let's-
drunken people's in there.
Can you take the
Let's
Heather
see
Stopwatch.
here. Oh,
These are
boy.
the normal Twitter people that I see.
Twitter twatter?
Oh boy, we got a lot of comments here. What's up, members? Good to see everybody. Hey guys, if you would like to watch the show get recorded live, then you can join the members area, like all these people have here, who are in the comments. We got VG Sykes, David's in there. Ralph, what's up, buddy? I saw J Matt's in here earlier. I don't know if he's not talking or if he jumped off, whatever. Oh, we're really on the Deegan thing here. God, that's gonna be. It's gonna be good
Everybody
here.
fired up about that?
Oh yeah,
I think the whole
everybody. That
industry's
is
fired up about it.
everybody's talking
What are
about
they
that.
saying in the chat?
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not reading all that, man. There's like literally a lot. Like
Wow.
About
there-
the Deegan
there-
thing or just in general?
about the Deegan thing
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
a hot
yeah,
topic
yeah,
right now.
a lot. So
I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. It's going to be a hot topic. I remember sitting there before the race started, and I was like, Deegan's in it. We'll have something to talk about.
100%, always is.
And guess what? The machine is just turning.
Oh,
And
100%.
you want to know what else I saw?
What else?
Mickey Mace?
The OG Metal Militia logo is now being sold in the merch truck.
Interesting.
$50.
Boo.
Well,
You paying
I mean, I was
50
never a
bucks
Metal
for
Militia guy to begin
Militia?
with.
no, bro.
The
I got
OG
old
shirt-
school ones.
I would like an OG shirt.
Hey, before we roll into 450,
Yeah.
Pastrana or Deegan?
Oh, I was a Pastrana guy for sure.
Pastrana or Deegan?
I was a Pastrana guy.
Okay, good. Me too.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I was a TP 199 kid.
Well, I mean, it's a question to that because even though like not a lot of people like
yeah, but
we're
unless you
into
were
the
like dark and like, oh, the world hates me.
I
then
was,
you were a Pastrana dude.
you also people were like on the Carry Hart. There was like an in between.
Ooh,
there.
you know what? That popped up on.
don't even start going
one
into
of my
freestyle.
things the other day. Was the Carry Hart backflip? I saw. Oh, maybe it was on Abide's Captain Log
Yeah.
the other day. He had a video of it. I was like, man, I remember sitting, the house I live in.
Mhm.
I remember sitting in that living room watching that on my grandparents' TV when he did that, and going,
I mean, it was wild.
holy
Well,
shit!
I don't remember that one, but I know exactly where I was and what I was thinking when
When he
I
did the
watched the
double
double
backflip?
backflip.
Yeah.
I remember that too. I remember watching. I don't remember exactly where I was. The Carry Hart one is burned in my brain as to where I was and what I was doing. but
The double backflip
the double
turned into my
backflip, I
brain.
remember watching, just being
It
like,
still gives me chills when I
wow.
watch it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because
oh,
most
yeah.
people were like, "Is Travis gonna die? Like, is he gonna?
Like
is he
they
gonna be
did,
able to
they
rotate?"
did a really good job hyping it up.
I
and
mean,
the
dude, it
whole
was such a
deal,
big
but-
deal. But I remember back at like when you used to do the Summer X thing when he was freaking like when he jumped the bike into the pond and all that shit. I mean,
The bay. It wasn't even a
yeah,
pond.
the bay,
Yeah.
the bay. I don't know. That was just like there was you either Pastrana or Deegan, and then Kerry Hart was kind of mixed in. there.
Yeah, but none of them were doing it on a factory bike.
No,
No.
y'all wait.
Pastrana would leave Millville, go to X Games, win,
Yeah,
and
but
then
it
fly
wasn't-
back.
It wasn't a factory bike though, was it?
I mean,
thought
I'm
they-
sure some parts made it over.
No, I thought they said they had to buy a bike because of the Suzuki thing or whatever.
Well,
Well,
there
Roger
was one,
hated
there
it.
was one year it had a 199, and it looked identical to his race
Yeah,
bike.
I don't know.
Roger hated the fact that he did.
Oh
that
yeah,
shit.
100%.
Like, I mean, this has been talked.
Have you
about
listened
before
to like
in
the Pastrana whiskey throttle stuff or whatever?
No, but I feel
'Cause
like
that
I've-
one's really good. There's some other ones too that are really
I feel
really
like
good.
I've heard all the shit
he's
before.
he's very very open about that.
Dude, freestyle was a cool era.
It was.
Back then it was.
It's gone
Now-
now,
It
but
was.
Like, now, like that era was cool. Like, dude, we've done it before on the show. Mad Mike Jones,
Clifford Adaptante.
Hit me one.
Clifford Adaptante. Matt Byton.
the Flying Hawaiian.
I know, yeah.
Come on, come on.
No,
give me
I
another
mean
one.
Matt Byton.
Matt Byton.
Seth Enslow.
Seth.
That's all he was terrible. That was terrible.
Ronnie Kung Fu Feist.
Do you know that Seth Enslow one year went up to Big Air? He did one lap there, and he's like, "No, I'm good." And people were like, "What?" He like went up there, rode a lap, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave." And I'm like,
For why?
"I don't know,
Is
man.
there
Like,
too much big air?
I don't know what it was his deal. Like nobody ever understood why. He literally went there, rode a lap, and then just dipped out. And people were like, "What the hell was that?" I don't know, dude. Freestyle back then, like I was never like a super big into the freestyle, but I feel like if you grew up in that era, like you kind of were like half in it. But then obviously back then, if you were on the racing side, it wasn't cool to be like the freestyle guys were always the outcasts, whereas now it's more like free ride stuff and everybody mixes together. But like it was a different era back then because of the fact that like it was still so new, and it was
Well, I don't even watch the X Games now. Like,
No, I mean, it's
X
boring.
Games was sick. I was like, oh shit, what's Pastrana gonna do new now?
the only time I ever watch anything has to do with Axel, and kind of gotten to the point that like Axel does shit some like everything he does now, and the same thing with Evans. I'm
Patrick
like,
Evans, all that stuff's cool.
dude, did you see his
Bierman?
Did you watch it? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not a big fan of Tyler. I don't. So, but
why,
did you see?
Why did he steal your chick at Loretta's?
No, I just seen him do some stuff in the pits at Loretta's that like to me as a person, I just don't think that he's like back then was very an upstanding dude. But I mean, he was a kid then, so
Well, now he's a married man.
well then that's good. Then
Was
he's
he doing some non-married man kind of thing?
just the typical like SoCal
Like some
bro.
Nico Izzy shit?
No, nobody will ever do Nico Izzy shit.
Okay.
Speaking of Patrick Evans, though, before we get into this, did you see his new video that he did?
Banned.
Fucking wild, dude.
Some of the stuff yeah.
I don't understand. Like he defies physics half the
But
time.
it's definitely the
The bike though.
it's the the gyro of the electric bike.
The inertia difference on a bike like that as opposed to a gas powered bike is different, but still, man, you can't
Well,
taking anything away from Patrick Evans. You just can't.
Here in Michigan, we've got the guy in all white, Thomas Unis. He just had that CGI facility guy fly up here and build a whole
Dude,
big ass compound up in
he-
Big Rapids.
Good for Nick Thomas-Unis, man. Like he has found an avenue that he is doing well at, and
Mhm.
honestly, I watched him as like when he was a kid. A lot of the people I helped, we raced against him. It's cool to see him like realize he wasn't going to make it racing, and then find another avenue and figure out how to still make money on dirt bikes while
Right.
having fun.
Yeah, yeah,
So good for him,
100%.
dude. And plus, he's got bike skills. Like he's
Yeah.
not just some Joe Blow. Like you
Yeah.
watch him ride, and you're like, this dude's fast.
Yeah, he's a good rider.
Yeah. So good for him.
Nailing it.
He's nailing it. His
Yeah,
videos,
no,
contents are
no,
good.
it's
I like
good.
his
No,
content.
no,
I really
it's
do.
good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I really like
yeah,
it.
It's
I'm
all the
with you guys.
creative stuff, like real right brain thinking. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff, like, oh, it's a total oxymoron. I'm gonna wear it all white at a dirt bike
Mhm.
track.
I remember when he
People
did
are
that for
gonna
the
notice me.
national, and people were like, "That's a bad idea."
Was he
And-
the guy that used to wear like the blue jeans and stuff too because he didn't have a sponsor? Who was that
No.
guy?
No,
That definitely wasn't even close.
There
to
was a
this
guy that didn't
I know
wear
who you're talking
gear.
about, but it
guy.
wasn't
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
And
It is
then,
what.
Well, the other thing too, like running the 999.
Yeah.
He was 102 for the longest time.
Yeah, as an
And I-
amateur, he was.
And I don't know if he did the 999 thing because, like, in this generation, Juice WRLD, popular music guy, and he always did 999. But he took, like, the infinity symbol and wrapped that into the top of all the nines. Like, little stuff like that's pretty creative.
Yeah.
It is wild though, and obviously we all say this because we all have local guys, especially being from Michigan at a certain time, where if you watch them. But it is funny though because if you were to show up to just a regular like practice track and you watch Nick put in a heater, you'd be like, this dude's fucking insanely fast.
Oh,
and he
can-
is fast.
He can put a heater in with Walker and those guys.
Yeah, but
still.
if you watched him,
yeah.
if he was the only person, and everybody like, well, everybody has one of these guys. But that's to my point. Like, if you watch Nick and he was just the only dude on the track, and you're like, Nick, put in just a heater. Just take a lap to get loosened up, put in a heater. And you'd be like, how does this dude not get top 10s at Nationals?
Well, it's like Axel. Like, did you see that video of
Yeah.
Axel riding at Paula the other day, like greasing that stuff?
You can throw some heaters in.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good.
So-
I mean,
If you wear 2 different color boots, though, Nick
Oh,
Thomas-Tunis will unfollow you.
is that
Oh.
for real?
I think I got unfollowed for wearing 2 different color boots because I think
Maybe
he
it's
claimed
just
that
'cause-
as his thing.
Maybe it's just because you're a douche.
He claimed that as his thing, I think, but
Did you ask him about it?
no, I didn't.
He didn't trademark it though.
Tommy
so.
Barron did it way back in the day.
Tommy-
That's where I got it from.
Tommy Barron.
Interesting.
Tommy.
Interesting.
Tommy Barron would wear a Tech 8 on the left foot, and then he wore a Tech 6 on the right.
Oh, that would be weird wearing.
And
two
then he was
different
running
ones like
a
that.
white one on the left and a black one on the right, but he would run the 6 and the 8 because he broke his leg or ankle or something, and the other leg felt better in a different boot or something.
Super interesting.
Tommy Barron.
Tommy Barron.
Tommy
He's the
Barron.
rip. That's where I got 2 color boots for.
That's from the whole Ryan Arthur, Matt Maximoff group.
I have no idea who any of these people are.
Ryan Arthur,
Yeah.
Speed Technologies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from that whole group.
I didn't know his last name.
Yeah, Ryan Arthur, Ryan, Matt Maximoff,
Oh,
Barron.
okay.
He's from that whole.
Oh,
That whole
okay.
Right,
group.
right. R.I.P.
Anyway,
It's crazy how long he's been.
you
Gone.
guys ready to get into this then?
Let's go.
All
Nothing
right.
Suzuki did.
Let's jump into this then. 450 race recap brought to you
Are
by
you
our
gonna-
friends
are you
at
gonna
Gutter
take
Works.
these
Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha here.
I can take these off.
Is
We-
he gonna be back for the first round?
We are going to fire off who?
Barsha.
I have zero effing clue on that.
Hey, wild stat about Barsha. Since
Okay.
we're talking about him. This
Yeah,
is
sure.
the first time in dude, it was an ungodly amount of years that he hasn't had a podium.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think, is it ever or is it?
He was like, dude, like 17 or 18 that he
Yeah.
went since not having a podium.
I was about to say because like there was a time where he pretty much podiumed at least every year when he was on the 450s when he first got on.
Well, yeah, and then he went through a little bit of a dry spell, like
Yeah.
the JGR Suzuki year and all that. And
Yeah,
then,
but he was
yeah,
clo-
this year is the first time he hasn't had a podium in X amount of years. Which
as much as I hate to say it, he's not getting a podium when he goes to Ducati next year.
I'm not sure that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. So, all right, 450 race recap here. Let's fire this off. So Sexton wins, and I'll pose this question: was he? We'll go with Justin first. Was he too nice to Cooper Webb?
Nah, because I think he looked at it and he goes, even if I, take him out, what is that going to accomplish? Because like now I got a pissed off Hornet coming after me. Like, what is that going to accomplish? And like Eric said, that's never been Chase's MO. That's not a Chase thing to do. And honestly, because Chase doesn't take people out that often or rubbing his racing, get aggressive with him, it'll be kind of like what I used to say about Blake Baggett and even Eli to an extent. That because that's something you're not used to and putting yourself in those situations, he's probably going, dude, I really don't know how to, saw off this dude's front end. Like I really could take a chance of taking myself out. So yeah, I mean, I think he did what he did. And maybe hoping Coop blows the berm, but I think that he probably would just fine with it. I also think Kier probably would kick his ass if he actually did just tee up someone.
I'll be honest. I would hit you in the head with a baseball bat as hard as I could for $50.
Well, that separates the difference between you and me then.
Cole?
I think he went too early. He had perfect opportunity to just sit on his rear wheel and maybe force him into a mistake or something like that. But, dude, you're 2 rounds left. You need some help. He's in second place. If you pass him, the worst he's going to get is maybe 3rd, 4th. And that ain't going to get it done.
You got to put him on the ground.
Yeah, like you guys say, though, like, it's not Chase's thing to clean somebody out like that. And truthfully, he doesn't know how to do that. He needs to play a game of Vince Freeze with Justin Barsha at the practice track on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or get the pit bikes out, like Eric said, and play the game of takeout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all do it, and
Wasn't
it's
Eric,
fun as
it was
hell.
Kev, but yes.
So, I mean, we all did it at Libretto's.
Mhm.
Like,
But yeah, he does because with 2 rounds left and you're down that many points, you have to put him on the ground. And
I'm
I
just
know
not
it's
a
not
fan
your
of that.
I
I'm
know
just
it's
not
not
a
your
fan of
MO.
that.
I mean, I know, but it's
Yeah.
a million. It's probably closer to $2 million fucking dollars.
Still not a fan of it.
and your name in the record book. as a
And your name in the
2-time champ.
record books. And
Like
I'll
I
be
said,
honest,
it's just not Chase's thing, and I honestly think that Kier would probably pull him aside and slap him upside the head.
I'd do a lot of shit for $2 million
I mean, there's a lot
without
of people
thinking
that
about it.
There's a lot of people that would. I mean, I get what you guys are saying, and I guess we'll talk about this when we get to the Deegan Davies thing. But like, it's just not his
Oh,
MO.
we'll get to that, don't
It's
you
just not his MO. And like, maybe he looks at it and goes, "This is how would he feel about that after the fact? That if he, what happens if he did?" And obviously, like, I know that sometimes we play too much into the physical side of things, but the difference between Chase and Coop, he's a lot bigger than Coop. And what happens if he accidentally just fucking center punches the shit out of him and blows his fucking knee out or breaks his ankle? Like, because you're not used to that stuff and you're not used to setting people up that way, you just might, Chase is like, I just got to go for his front wheel. That could go any number of ways, and say he does put him on the ground. But what happens if Coop actually does get hurt? Like, I feel like Chase is one of those dudes that would mess with him mentally. He wouldn't be okay with himself knowing that he hurt another rider, even if it got him a title. And if it did, I'm sorry. Not that it matters because he doesn't care who I am, but I think that if you do that kind of stuff, I think that says a lot about your character, and I think that makes you a piece of shit.
It's a big bummer, but that check still cashes.
Cashes
all day long,
hurting other people is not.
Let me ask you this: is Coop gonna pay for me in retirement when I run out of money? Nope.
Disagree.
Yeah, you could just tell even with that attempt of a block pass or whatever. Like, he got him, but he was still too far back to really make something happen.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you could just tell he doesn't know how to set up a dirty pass.
He definitely hit him because, as he said, I was seeing red because Coop cross jumped him on the. Which that to me is a little like. I mean, I understand you're upset. Totally get it. Fine, no problem. It's the first rhythm of the first lap.
Right.
Everyone
He's
is
not
going
intentionally
everywhere.
gonna
Yeah.
cut him off, like.
That whole I'm seeing like the first 2 to 3 rhythms on a first lap, everything is everywhere. So like if you're getting upset about that, you maybe should really think about things.
But that's what I mean, though. The fact that he's make a comment like that, like
yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's
I
just not who
understand.
Chase is. Like
Look,
I never even seen Chase as an amateur all the way from 50s all the way to his last year in A class ever get dirty. And even when he was racing Faulkner, and there was a lot of times that him and Faulkner, like whether they didn't like each other, they tolerated each other. And there was a lot of times I watched him at Loretta's and he could have just center punched the shit out of Austin. And he just never did. He never baited into it. So like, you're not going to start doing it now. So I feel with Chase is like, dude, I'll just go beat him straight up, and we'll play this back and forth game of antics over the finish line. But like, I never look for Chase to take somebody out intentionally to gain a position, which is, whether you want to say that that's going to be the difference maybe one day between him and Jet, where Jet's not going to get dirty, but Jet obviously has no problem running people wide. Mm-hmm. Chase is just not going to do it. And if Chase is fine with that, then I don't think that's anybody's business to critique him on that. Because it's easy to talk about it in the moment until you have to be that guy, and then you have to deal with it later. And I don't think that Chase wants to have to deal with Cooper Webb, a pissed-off Hornet, because he's going to have to deal with Cooper Webb for quite a few more years.
I think it's a fine line, though, because Chase at some point is going to have to be like, hey, don't fuck with me.
But I don't think he's ever going to, though.
But right now, like, he's an easy target for everybody else. Like, hey, I can fuck with this guy, and he won't do anything back.
And you're not wrong.
Okay, Cole, let me pose this question to you. If those roles are reversed, does Webb put him on the ground?
I think Webb would put him on the ground, yeah.
Does Coop ever put everybody on the ground, though?
I mean, I don't...
Coop and AC never put AC on the ground.
Did he put Bowers on the ground?
I don't think so. I didn't think he wanted to poke that bear.
I thought
he put him off the track, though.
Put him off the track, but I don't think he wanted to poke that bear.
That also wasn't for $2 million.
No.
Coop really hasn't been in the position to clean somebody in the last round for the title, though. He's definitely done some brake checks and shuffled some guys back behind in through the field.
Yeah.
But I think if it came down to it, though, I think he'd put
I think if the roles are reversed, I think Coop puts him on the ground.
I mean, maybe. I don't know because Coop, like Cole just said, Coop's never been in that situation, so I can't say one way or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with Coop's attitude, you would probably lean towards that way.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, Coop's been, he's been doing this over 10 years now, and he's not done it, like, as far as I remember, has never really done it. And it's not like he hasn't gotten into it with guys or had a little back and forth beef where he'd be like, oh, maybe he would do it, and he never did. So it's like, I can't say one way or another would he. I mean, yeah, I think that if you're going to be between him and Chase, he's probably going to be the guy. But he hasn't done it yet, so I don't know. He's not Ando. He's not Barsha. He's not Vince Freeze. He's not some of these other guys from the past. And I think with a lot of those guys at that level, those top level guys you start talking about, like him and Chase and Jet and Hunter. Even though Hunter's, he got into a Thrasher and put Thrasher over a berm, so maybe not Hunter. But Eli,
Hunter
he has
is
no
center punching him
he has no
for that money.
Hunter he gave it to Anderson a lap down.
Yeah, he has no qualms. And like I said, he ruined Nate Thrasher at Daytona that year. So maybe not Hunter. But like those other guys, like they don't really do that. They don't really play that game. I mean, once again, look how many times. I guess Eli did ruin Dino's career.
He ruined his career.
But he hasn't really done it on the 450. And he tried to do it with Baggett one year in Atlanta, and it didn't work out well.
He cleaned Webb out at Daytona one year. He's pissed.
Oh, you're talking about the Yamaha thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Coop was.
cross jumping the shit out of him. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I know this is all of a sudden a hot topic, but.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Just, it's fun to bench
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So, all right, moving on. So, Webb gets second. He's got to get fifth or better this week. This, in my opinion, is one of those times where it's like something happens and it's super duper sketchy for like at least half the race, and they're going, "Oh, it could be Sex has got the title. Sex has got the title. Sex." And then by the time you get to halfway plus, then Coop dials it in, and everything's fine, and he ends up winning. But it always seems Murphy's Law. What can happen will happen. Fifth or worse, whatever. He'll get a bad start. He'll go down in the first corner, something like that, and we'll all be like, "Oh my God, there's no way this happens."
And then he'll make it.
And then it happens. So.
Chase needed Mookie to pass him and get second, because then, like I said, it would have been 7 points, and at least then you could go in. Oh, I could win, and maybe Mookie and AP can get a second and a third. But now it's like we're running out of dudes. We have no dudes left.
Yeah,
It's like
the only other guy in the mix would be
Jay
Justin Cooper,
and
and he'll move over.
And he's going to move over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the problem. Like, that's why last night I was really open. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like, Mookie, like, he's closing. Just if he gets around him, we're in a better position. Because then, once again, like, you go in, Chase can win. Like, we can, things can happen. But now it's like there's no more dudes left.
Yeah.
So, like, fifth is highly unlikely that happens outside of what you said. It's going to take a bike issue. And when is the last time Coop had a bike issue?
Yeah,
I think at
true.
elevation that Yamaha is going to play a good part in the start. I mean, last night all the Yamahas were up front. Didn't matter what class.
That
And you
250
could
man was
watch
wild.
You could watch Coop go in a second down that start straight and just go right around Sexton. Like Sexton may have had the jump on him despite the fake jump. Did you see that? You guys like that?
Ooh, that fake jump was awesome. And like Chase said,
Screwed up a lot of people.
Chase said it didn't screw him up at all. He's like, I saw it happen. I knew what he was doing. But man, that was a good one though, because he like legit was like, boom. Even when I saw it, I was like, dude, I probably would have gone on that one. But
Makes you wonder if KTM is gonna try to slide Mookie and AP a little bit of money. Be like, hey man, like if you're just in front of him and he's coming through, just run him wide a little bit.
Hey, how about the header pipe?
That was interesting. I have not seen. I mean, the GP stuff see some weird headers, but like that was
I heard that it was
Sound related stuff for next year. But
yeah, that's what I heard. Because AP said in his they asked AP, and AP's like, I don't really know what it does. He goes, they put it on during the week. I told him it didn't have a negative effect, so whatever. And he also, what else did he say? He said, well, anything you can get me that makes it closer to a two-stroke, which that's a big, crazy-looking header pipe there.
ugly. It's real ugly.
I think we'll see some of that here with the sound restrictions, which are fucking dumb, but that's
The
a whole
elevation
other
thing
thing.
is such a hard thing to go by, even on the 450s, especially when you start talking about like you're already at a disadvantage, but then obviously you have to start like, oh, we can't throw too much at it because the traction is fucking terrible, and that's why even with anybody that tries to go down into first gear, it's such a slippery slope. Because it's like, dude, you have to run in that meat range of coming out of the corner and like shifting right as you stand the bike up, and I don't know, like the elevation thing, like
well, they did some transmission changing up. I saw Coop had he was running a different primary. So
Interesting.
yeah,
made first gear a little longer.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So moving on here though, third place, Justin Cooper.
any other weekend. That's a
So-
second. That's a second any other weekend.
If I'm Justin Cooper, I'm going to Webb on Monday when we get to the farm, and I'm saying I'll expect that bonus check in my fucking mailbox next week. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not
you're not
I'm
wrong.
not joking. I'm saying that right to his face because that was my second place, which I'm sure there's a $20,000 difference there. You better write that $20,000 check to me, partner, because I could have fucking gone by you, let Mookie go by you,
know
and
what?
then your
Coop probably
title's
would've said-
fucked.
Coop probably would have said, "Go on by."
I'm still.
I don't know.
I still stand by what I said when Eric was on. Like when he first got around Malcolm, he's thinking, "Yeah, dude, like I'll play a buffer or whatever. Like I can, I know how to ride with eyes back in my head." But then the moment that Mookie got a second wind, dude, Jay Coop had to have been screaming at him, "Dude, you gotta go! Like, you gotta go!"
I
Because
think Webb got just a very small second win though. Like he could just enough to push those last two laps.
Yeah.
Because Jay Coop, you could tell though that like when Mookie the third to last lap or whatever, when he went down the inside of the whoops and like he really had a good drive and he closed up on him.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he just spun a little bit or like whatever.
No, dude, Jay Coop was nailing that section after the whoops, that on
Yeah.
off corner
Yeah.
chicane thing. Dude, he was freaking nailing.
But he's just
that.
got to be thinking, he's like, dude, you got to go, man. 'Cause,
Oh.
like, I'm giving it everything to hold this dude off. You got to go.
I literally am sitting there going, he is screaming at him right
I think
now
I saw
to
him do some
go.
He's got
Go.
to, man. He's like, you got to fucking go, because I think in his
Yeah.
mind he thought like, oh yeah, like I caught Mookie, like we're just gonna slowly walk away from
Yeah.
him, and then he's like,
Because dude, he's got to have that money because Mickey May's got a lot of money, bro.
Chill. I thought we weren't going
chill,
there.
bro,
We weren't
chill.
going there. I thought we weren't going there.
chill,
Kidding,
dog.
Hang on.
Oh,
or
okay.
in the words of Mickey Mays,
Wow.
Wow. But no, Great Wide by Jay Coop.
he's
man.
my boy.
He's my boy.
He's my boy.
He's
Damn,
my boy.
But Great Wide by Jay
What
Coop.
a weird thing. And that's where we're gonna leave that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Great year though,
dude.
for him.
If the
Yeah.
guy could figure out how to hit whoops next year, he'll be.
I was impressed he was skimming yesterday, and skimming enough that we caught it on camera.
Well,
so
in
that was
Race Day
cool.
Live, Brayton was super horny. He was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you see Cooper skimming the
Oh,
whoops?"
yeah.
Because he's working with him, obviously. But
Yep.
So the real question is, we know he's not going to go anywhere. Well, probably not going anywhere. He's going.
He's not
But
going anywhere.
but do you think if he can finish this off with Salt Lake and get another podium, and we know he's going to do really well outdoors, outside of anything
dude, I'm
crazy.
excited to see him
I'm
outdoors.
too,
I
man.
think he's going to surprise
All
people.
horned up, eh?
I think he can. I think he can give Hunter everything he can handle. I mean, back to the 250 days. But do you think this season now has been enough for him to go to Bobby and Brad and go, I want a little bit more money?
That deal's done already.
Well, I think he should get more money. I don't know
I
what
mean,
the
I
money
don't know
is,
if he
but I
is or
feel
not.
like, hey, man, all right, fine. If the deal's done on the salary part, I should get a little bit more in bonuses.
I'd be like, you're
because
flying
he-
private every weekend. I don't think you need more money,
Not
Dude,
every weekend.
he has had an unbelievable year, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's been great.
An
been great.
unbelievable year, and so many times that he could have. I think a lot of people are surprised that he doesn't have a win. I am.
He better put that money in a different account because I think there might be a lot of paperwork coming.
Oh,
And I'll
man.
leave it at that.
Oh, man.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stupidest
great-
show on the internet.
Great year for Jacob, though.
Oh yeah,
great year
100%.
For him.
Dude, there definitely some highlight reel stuff. The heat race last
Holy
weekend.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the comeback ride this weekend. I mean, obviously, field's a little thinner, but that was something I had brought up a few shows ago. Was like, hey, we usually don't see him come from the back like that.
And hey, man,
On a track, that's hard to pass.
if he has another good round at Salt Lake, which why wouldn't he? Homeboy's gonna get third in the points.
Yeah.
Like, I understand field is thin, but third in the points is third in the points.
Third in the points is third in the points there.
Like,
so
I don't know, man. I think he's had a great year, and I think that he still to this day does not get enough respect. And I know everybody kind of shits on Jay Coop, but I think the dude deserves a lot more respect.
I am with you though. I think he's going to give Hunter. Well, okay.
I think he's got
I will
Hunter
say
covered
that.
outdoors.
I mean, Hunter had a
That
great
depends,
last year.
dude. If Hunter does what he
I know we're
does,
gonna go with this, but I don't think he's gonna be in that area code. He only rides like that when he's in the same area code, and I believe that he's not gonna be in that same area code. So I don't think I agree with you. We've had this conversation, and I agree with you.
Let me just clarify because people are going to be like, "Well, you didn't say it. You didn't say it.
I
What
don't
are you
even
talking
know what the hell
about?"
you're talking about.
Hunter rides better when Jet's there because to him
And
it's
it's
just
proven.
a practice day,
It's actually
and it
proven.
is something. Facts.
We've talked about this.
Facts. You can see it. You can go back to last year before Jet got hurt. When Jet goes, Hunter goes with him. As soon as Jet exited stage, Hunter could not go. Like Hunter's waxing Sexton in those first 4 rounds, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then as soon as he leaves, he cannot stay with him
I just don't think he's gonna be in that area code.
because it's as simple as, dude, I do this Monday through Friday.
He trusts Jet. He knows
Yeah.
what Jet's gonna do.
So like I know I can go that speed because Jet goes that speed. No problem. But when Jet leaves and he doesn't have that rabbit there, he doesn't ride as well.
if he can start with Jet, I will agree with that wholeheartedly because I agree with that train of thought. We went over this last
Yep.
year, but I think that if he's struggling with his starts,
Yep.
and he can't go with Jet, I think Jay Coop beats him.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I
be a
really
good
do.
outdoor year.
I think it's gonna be
It's-
great.
Yeah.
I think
outdoors is gonna be fun here.
I think
I'm
Jay
excited.
Coop has now made it known that he is like the next guy.
Mhm.
He is the next guy outside of however many people you want.
I think he beats Prado.
You've already been over this.
We'll get into that at a certain point. So Stu fourth, probably should have been third.
Yeah.
But obviously there was
Rocky Mountain Fantasy Points.
there was a
won him
beaver
in
dam
third.
in front of him there.
there
so
was a beaver dam.
beaver dam,
Yeah.
Beaver dam.
beaver dam.
Hey man, though Mookie's had another good year.
Dude, it's been
And if he
good.
beats Jay Coop next weekend, he gets third in the points. Best year since Star.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically winner
No,
take
he
all
got
on
third
that
in the
too.
points the year Barsha cleaned his shit.
I thought that was the year on Star.
No.
I thought he's only got third in the points 1 year.
I don't know.
No, that year Barsha T-boned him real good.
What was that?
Was that,
Because
remember
like
that the MCR
Moto
year?
Concepts?
No, that was first
That
year
was
Husky.
Star. Oh, first year Husky. Oh yeah.
Very
Did he get
first-
third in the points?
No, I thought Barsha got third because that was why Barsha
That was
cleaned
for
him.
second point.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. They were cleaning each other for top three
Yeah,
in points.
I thought Barsha got.
Because Barsha was like, I want, racing, dude, I want top three in the points.
Okay. I mean, either way, if he gets third in the points, then that'll be like one of those, well, didn't see that coming.
Yep, exactly. AP fifth there.
He's just happy to finish
Dude,
the season.
happy to be there.
Happy to get outdoors.
It's
Healthy, go in outdoors healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Outdoors is going to be really good all the way through.
I mean, AP, you think of his season last year outdoors. Well,
I mean,
let's
he
talk
was-
about outdoors already, but there were a lot of times he was leading up until that last 5-minute mark.
Chase, you just couldn't give him one? Just now, just
Couldn't give
one.
him one.
Just one. Chase is like, nah.
Nah, fuck that
Nah.
guy.
But, I mean, you're right. AP, there was a lot. I mean, dude, what was it? Iron Man, Hangtown. I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Hangtown one is like going to be the one that's going to live in infamy because of what Chase did. But it's like, dude,
There's a
last
lot of them
lap,
he should have won.
2 sections to go or whatever
Mhm.
it was, and Chase just. But then, I mean, Iron Man, he was killing it all
Yeah.
weekend there, and Chase is just like,
Nah,
sorry,
brah.
buddy. Sorry,
Yep.
buddy.
Dude, let's talk about this guy for a second here. Shane Sins,
Dude, he was
aka
ripping.
Shane McElrath, top 3 start, running up front, ends up 6th. But
Giving
man,
those
this
guys
is
everything
really
they could
this is
handle.
really good. Like this is not a mud race actually. Completely dry, hard pack. In fact, the exact opposite.
This is star Yamaha Shane Sins battling Chase for a title. Shane Sins.
Bro, you know, I went back and I don't even know why I just like popped onto this one, but I went back and watched the final round at Paula in 2020 when
Oh,
when
this
he
is
was
what
a
you do in your
star.
free time.
No, this just popped up on my YouTube, and I was watching that last moto, the moto that finally Jet had his breakout ride.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like Jet, J Mart, freaking Jarrett Fry, Dylan, and Shane's just out there leading them, just doing his own thing.
Mhm.
I honestly believe that, like, my thought of why all of a sudden is because now he's finally getting starts. And I
What?
think that he's being able to run, like how he finished last night. Like, dude, he's always getting terrible starts. And he's had to come through the pack. And it's like by the time he gets into the top 10, those dudes are gone. But I think it's like, oh, like, I know how to ride with these dudes.
Well, he's
I've been
learning
battling.
learning
yeah,
the pace now too.
I've been
yeah.
battling with these dudes. I know how to run this pace. Like, well, you know, it's all mental. And Shane finally, I mean, dude, he sat on AP's rear wheel the whole entire main almost. So it's like he knows how to run this pace because it's like, dude, I used to beat these guys. I know how to run this
Oh, yeah.
pace. And Shane's just another dude that if he can find that what he had in the 250 days, just slot him back in there because
I think he also just needs to find a home.
well,
He's
I
been
think
on
found one.
he's been musical bike since that star day.
I think
like,
he's found one, man.
I hope they stay. I hope he stays with Reeve and them. But like, dude, think about it. Star, then he goes to 450.
Husky for a little bit.
MCR, HEP, PRMX for a minute.
I forgot about that.
Husky for a second. What else did he do?
Yeah,
No,
but
I
I'll
mean,
be
I think he
honest. I
covered a
think
lot
he's
of it.
gonna. I think he's gonna land here because I think he likes this because he liked doing those off-season races there because he made it.
but
Everybody
they had
says
to
he
make
made a
room-
ton of
yeah.
money.
Yeah, they had to make room for him. Though.
Yeah, but I think it'll be. I think. Yeah, but do you think they were splitting that spot because Dino was supposed to go there?
I don't know. I hope he got compensated the way he should have been because he's definitely. I hate to say it, but he's been the best guy on that team over there.
Yeah, 100% he has. So
Quadlock better step up with some more money.
yeah,
Yeah, they
well
would
they
pull-
can't.
They got to pull funding from Deegan.
Yeah, no, it's all in the Deegan program.
It's also in the or the McLaren deal. Like,
Yeah.
Quadlock sponsors them too.
yeah, Piastri and
a
and
lot of
Norris.
money in
Does-
phone accessories.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Lot
I
of
mean,
money.
like when you look at Oscar and well, not Lando's, but Oscar, it's like dead center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of money in
Which
phone
I'm
That
like-
much in Quadlock.
Which I'm like to get.
okay, so I sell those stupid Milwaukee knives,
Mhm.
and the amount of those I sell as a nobody who like is just figuring stuff out. I can only imagine something like that everybody needs.
Everybody has a phone. Yeah.
I mean, you got to figure there's 350 million people in the United States, and there's probably 300 million people with a cell phone, which means if you even
but
get
you're only buying a case like one time
you change phones every year.
every 2 to 4 years.
Every year. They got you now where you're changing phones every year unless you're a weirdo like me who goes 3 or 4. You've got
I go through 3 or 4.
you
before I get
break
one.
it, you take it off, you lose a piece of it, something
Well,
like
look,
that.
this is a Quadlock right here, but it's the Amazon version without
Yeah.
the logo.
Yeah, but again too, you got to think when you get into that kind of situation, when you get to 1% of 300 million people, which is not hard to get to 1% of someone, it's like that's still 3 million units.
All I know is when I saw the quad lock on Oscar's helmet, I'm like, that's a lot of fucking money to get out to get a logo on a Formula One helmet.
That's only the United States, and they're worldwide.
Yeah, I know. That's. I mean, they're an
So-
Australian-based company.
Yeah,
right?
so you got to think.
yeah,
You got to think. I mean, it is millions and millions of dollars.
They got a lot of money, man. They got a
Yeah.
lot of fucking
So,
money. And
anyway-
they sponsor just about everything now.
Yeah. So anyway, so
Interesting.
moving on here. Dylan 7th.
He's finishing off Supercross season pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, hey, in the words of Seb, best bike I've ever ridden, bro. And I'm like, really? Really?
You said that bike was the best?
He told Seb that that's the best bike he's ever ridden, man. He feels like like a couch or some shit.
Oh
that
my
he's
god,
got.
that's
Interesting.
what he was saying the year before last.
And
when
I'm
they got
like,
on it,
I don't
too.
know about that, man. I think your 2021 championship bike was probably the best bike you've ever ridden, but all right.
I hope he can show up outdoors and get in the mix, man.
I mean, we need another dude. We need another guy.
Yep. Joey Savacci, 8th place.
Just hell of a ride though.
Good
Good
ride
ride,
for
working through the
Joey.
pack,
Yeah,
yeah.
super good. Dude, let's talk about this guy for a second here. Mitchell Oldenburg again.
On the
Another
beta. On the
good-
beta.
On the beta.
The beta.
We're going to talk about beta in our halftime report here too.
Are they going after somebody big?
We'll talk about it here. Another top 5 start. Very
Heat race
was sick. Like
he
I
was
really when I
sporty.
saw that heat race, I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be super
Yeah.
interesting
He's
here
sporty.
come main event." And then gets a top 5 start. It's just up there, kind of working his way around. And I mean, faded to 9th, but like
I think
I'm
people
not upset about it.
I think people forget like the moments that he had when he was on Star Yamaha, like those days, the 250
Yeah.
days. Like I understand that he was known as a crasher, but like he had moments where he was the baddest dude out there. Like he
Couple
could,
podiums, didn't he?
yeah, couple podiums. He could. I mean, he led a couple main events for like good 5-10 minutes or whatever. Yeah, he's probably just like, all right, now I'm finding my footing in the 450 class.
Yeah,
and it is confirmed they're going outdoors for a little bit.
they're
right?
doing some of them.
I expect him. He's another guy, man. Like I don't think he's gonna have the cardio to run 35 minutes, but like he's
I don't
another
know.
guy that
He's got to track his place in Texas. He's training in
You
Texas.
think he's 10 to 15?
I think he could be a couple top 10s. Yeah.
Really?
I don't think it's gonna be easy by any.
No, not. You start re-racking.
Yeah,
them.
I know.
You start re-racking them like we do at the beginning of the Supercross season.
If he gets a start, possibly, but if he's working his way through, then yeah, it's gonna be real tough.
I think they're getting that beta figured out a little bit here, which
It looks good.
Is interesting to
Still
see.
looks fucking heavy though.
Well,
man.
the steel. It looks
Steel
heavy,
frame
yeah.
It looks
gang.
real fucking heavy though.
Well, we'll see.
But I mean, he's making it work.
Dino, 10th place. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just think that's
He's probably like, why do I got to keep battling Joey?
where we're at.
Dude, him and Justin Hill just cuffing and stuffing back
Cuffing
there.
and stuffing back
They're
there.
like, yo, this is like the PC days.
Christian Craig, 11th. Little bit of a sighting there.
Not going outdoors is.
I
puzzling.
still am. I'm
Is
not,
that fully confirmed? Have we?
I think so.
I'm
I,
not
I-
on that. I still think
he-
that's
You
stupid.
saw something somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's puzzling though. Like I think
I think it's dumb.
I think he needs to do that to get his confidence up.
I
Like
think
his
so, too.
confidence is just in the shitter.
Yeah, because you're not going to build confidence without, race time. Like, what are you
Right.
going to do? Just keep riding at the farm? That's not going to prove shit to
Yeah,
anybody.
he ain't gonna do World Supercross, but
I don't know.
but do we think the Jerry Robin deal kind of has an effect? Like, hey, I've got my family. Like, this one hits close to home.
Could.
Maybe it's time to
I mean,
hang it up, Minnesota boys. Like,
Jerry is definitely had some impact on people.
yeah,
I mean, people
100%.
forget that Christian almost,
Christian almost had that same
same
thing
damn
happen to
thing.
him.
I mean, he's got the wicked scar to prove it. Like people, like if anybody watching hasn't been around this sport for that long, like Christian Craig had one of the worst get-offs you could possibly have, and like I said, he's got the scar to go with it. He almost ended up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and I think that every day that he gets to walk, I think he looks and goes, it's a blessing because I think it's been 15, maybe 14 years now that happened. I mean, dude, he was real close to being in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. So,
Yeah.
I'm. You might be right, Cole. Like he might be looking and going, you know what?
I
I
got
got
a
the money,
family.
I
I
got
got 3
family,
kids. Like I
like-
got an exit strategy. I could probably go to Star and do something.
We're gonna do my thing. I'm done with this, which will be sad. But if that's something he's actually thinking about, he needs to get out now because that's just gonna be in his mind every time he puts a leg over a bike. So
All right, Justin Hill, 12.
What happened?
Hill's not cuffing and stuffing. Hill
What?
forgot his handcuffs.
I don't know what happened.
He's just
You think-
He's just upset there's not more rounds.
Look, bro,
you
the
think
handcuffs.
You think he overtrained?
Feels like he's starting over. I don't know what he said. I've heard.
I feel like he probably overtrained. This is just me talking. Like, because he hasn't put this much effort into a 450 season ever. So he's like, I'm going to train my ass off and doesn't know how to train properly.
I think the handcuffs got lost in the trunk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, Benny 13th, but top 3 start was running up front there.
Benny's had a good season.
It was cool to actually run with people who you knew kind of what they were doing.
He finished the race.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been since 2020 Salt Lake since he was up there in a main right off the rip. So.
Yep. Colt Nichols 14th.
Yeah.
Okay. Freddie Noren 15th.
Yeah.
After hitting, I'm pretty sure he hit false neutral on the finish line.
Yeah.
That what happened?
That was weird.
I think so. With the angle of what happened, the only thing in my mind is that he had to have hit false
Off
neutral.
that double
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Chiz 16th, Moranz 17th, Kate Clayson 18th, Tristan Lane 19th. If anybody has anything,
No.
make sure to stop me. Jeremy Hand 20th, Starling 21st, and Michael Hicks 22nd.
Do you think Michael Hicks broke even this week?
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
Nope, costed money.
The amount of money.
With the Pulp MX race there.
The amount of money for him.
Was he
to
in the
get-
Pulp MX race? I don't think he was, but he got
No.
$2,000 for just missing it last week or something though.
Yeah, the amount of money that it
He
took
also
him to
didn't
get
spend
there,
any money on a pipe. He was rocking a stock pipe.
I saw
So
that too. I did notice that, yes.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. Big
he
dude.
may have broken even with 450 money.
Yeah, maybe.
Broke even.
Maybe, hopefully. But people will still tell him that he's crying, so.
Yeah.
Fucking
Phil will
idiots.
still light him a new one.
Dude, Phil will.
Phil is just awesome these days.
He's very upset about that one.
He's gonna be a wild child in Canada this summer.
I can't wait. I might buy the package. Even.
He's gonna be a wild child in Canada. Yeah, he's gonna be a wild child.
No.
Crap. My mic's been out because I had it muted. That was cool.
How long has it been muted?
Not that long. No, it was VG Sykes. You're not wrong. I had myself muted when I was blowing my nose. It's okay. It's fine. Whatever.
All right.
Look,
Idiot.
Look, we're still going. Look, we've got, of the show so far, 2 technical difficulties. Number 1, I muted myself so you didn't listen to me blow my nose. Number 2, the Canon camera keeps overheating and shutting off. So there was a little black screen there for a couple seconds before I caught it.
We're back though.
I need more screens.
We're back.
Well, right now we're just on the main camera. I haven't turned that. I'll turn that back on probably when we go back into 250s because it overheats. So I'll let it cool down. That's what I did earlier too.
So it sounds
So-
like Sony is superior.
It is. Actually, you know what I found? Okay, before we get into that, we'll do that in the halftime report. That's been your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Worx. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Make sure to check them out. Link in the description down below. And with that being said, we're going to jump into our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report here. Complete Racing Solutions this month wants to highlight Coach Rob's phone calls with you. This is a legitimate 30-minute phone call with Coach Rob to assess your situation and help you get started in the right direction. If you want any more information on that, make sure to visit the website, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. And you can actually legitimately talk to Coach Rob because he is a hell of a guy.
He is a hell of a guy.
He
And
is a
I
hell
talk
of a
to
guy.
him all the time.
Love that
so,
guy. I need to have him on the show.
Yeah, huh?
Need to have him back on the show. It's been
I know.
Maybe we should do live check-ins on the air. We should join the program, and we have a segment where he comes on and tells us how crappy we are.
You know what? It's a real bummer that we're all so busy because we could just go down to Claremont, Florida, hang out for a week.
I mean, my schedule's wide open.
I fucking hate you.
Cole's got nothing going on.
I absolutely just don't like you right now.
Cole's got nothing going on.
No,
so.
I got a pretty busy week coming up. So
All right. Jumping into the Complete Racing Solutions halftime report here thing. Yeah. Okay. So about the
report thing here.
report thing you bangy.
So about the camera there. So what I found out, or what I was told last week, actually from I think it was Rob at Rev X when I was talking to him about this whole setup, is that the reason that the Canons can only record 27 or 28 minutes, whatever it is there, is because the tariffs are different if you import a video camera versus a picture camera. So since it can only record 27 or 28 minutes, it is only considered a picture camera. So the tariff is lower than like the Sonys, which I believe are considered a
so
video
if you
camera.
want to record shit at a race, it's Sony. If you want to rip off
Well, if you
pictures,
just want to
Canon.
record a lot at one time,
yeah.
yes. Canons work just fine for anybody who's not trying to record a 3-hour podcast like we are.
Yeah, or will it go for 30 minutes? Like, if I'm a guy at a race, say I'm film guy Tom, I'm out there
Yeah,
wandering around.
it'll go 20
I never shut it off.
It'll go 27 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'll never shut the camera off, and then post, I'll just.
Oh,
cut
it's not.
everything.
It's not it being on. It's literally the recording. So
That's
like,
what I mean.
oh, you're just like,
Yeah, if I run from section to section, and then if I'm editing it, I just cut out the part where I'm running from section to section.
oh, I don't
Because
know.
like,
I've never done
if there's
that.
a pass about to happen, I just put the camera up and it's already rolling. I don't have to
Oh.
worry about pressing
Hmm.
play or.
I don't know. I've never done that. Whenever
Like,
I'm
I would
recording
assume
a race,
those
I'm
guys that are
on and off.
doing that, like film guy Tom or whatever,
Yeah,
they're recording the whole time. They're
I don't
never
know.
shutting
That'd
it
be
down.
an interesting question to ask one of those guys.
I
'cause, yeah, I
guarantee
don't
it.
know
Well, believe it or not, you know who told me this?
who.
Max Fisher.
Interesting.
When he was filming a lot,
yeah.
he's like, I never shut it down. Because
Hmm.
if there's something happening, I can just put the camera, the lens on it, and I don't
Yeah.
have to press the button.
Huh.
And then I just
interesting.
crop it out or cut it. and
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Give me
Okay.
a media pass this
Cam-
week, brother.
Camera talk
Give me a media pass for Redbud.
for Redbud.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
I'll go out there.
just running and gunning.
I'll run and gun, slow mo, freaking
As long as he doesn't have to run up Launchpad water.
Moto Aftermath Raw.
You know, he's
Raw.
been to several races. I've gotten one video. Oh, two. I lied. Two. I got the one of Faulkner and Collin Park at Detroit
Mhm.
or whatever arguing, and then I got one of them picking up a bike with a skiddy at whatever it was.
Quality over
East
quantity.
Rutherford.
Both those videos did well.
Outside of that, I have not gotten any other videos from him.
Quality over quantity, brother.
It still is not
Did I
paying.
send you the one of Max Volan, like wheeling through the whoops in Detroit?
No.
Mid LCQ?
No.
Oh.
So, anyway, all right, halftime report here. Do either of you have anything for halftime?
No.
I thought I did, but you know what? Oh, I have something.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk Sebastian Tortelli.
Okay,
Oh, I know
Sebastian
where this is
Tortelli,
going. I know
dude.
exactly where this is going because we had
Let's
this
talk-
conversation in the group chat.
We
last
did.
night.
Let's talk
Yep.
Sebastian
Go ahead.
Tortelli. I'm sitting there watching Race Day Live, man.
In his underwear, eating some bonbons.
No.
With his vacuum,
With his
sucking him off.
Wow, that was. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know what that was.
I'm catching Race Day Live. And I'm tuned into Race Day Live
That's
because
pretty good.
because you know,
Like that?
no homo, Justin Brayton is a good-looking dude, right?
Yep, sure.
That is the only reason Cole watches RDL.
Yeah, so we got Justin Brayton in the mix, and they're like, "Hey, we're calling in Sebastian Tortelli." And they
Legend.
pan the camera on that man. I'm like, "Holy smokes!" Like,
Cole's blind.
I'm like, dude, that's a good-looking dude. Like, Sebastian Tortelli is a really good-looking dude, and I'm like, dude, put this guy on the cover of GQ magazine. Like, they put him next to Justin Brayton, and Justin Brayton, like, no disrespect to Kiefer, but he made Justin Brayton look like Kiefer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah, good looking
Are
dude.
we all in agreement that
Yeah.
Sebastian
Oh, yeah.
Tortelli
No,
is a good-looking dude?
GQ quality there.
Good looking
Like,
dude.
can you imagine that dude back in the day in his prime? Like,
Oh,
what kind
yeah.
of tail he was pulling?
All the tail.
Ah, dude, he
A
well.
foreign guy in America that looks that good?
Slanging, bro.
Also thinking when he won his GP title, he was like 18, making a ton of money at the time.
Bruh.
Like,
Oh, dude, like
Making a ton
all
of
the women,
that.
dude, with
at the time, that was a lot of money.
the accent, and they're like,
GP
Then-
stuff was paid different back in the day. They made more money back then than they do now.
ooh,
I was going to say, because
Sebastian.
I just heard Dino talking about a
He didn't
GP
race.
contract
He didn't race GPs.
recently, and he was like,
That's why I said back in
dude,
the day.
all right, well, okay,
Nowadays,
well.
you're not wrong because I've heard some numbers thrown around of what even Coonan's making, and I'm like, that's terrible.
Give me
Yeah.
the number.
90K.
Okay.
David says, no wonder Cole doesn't like Deegan. Cole is gay. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Good one, David.
Bro, you kind of
Oh,
set
God,
yourself
that was
up
Hey,
on the
look,
whole thing.
Look,
That was
hey,
awesome.
we're all straight men here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Justin, but
I
we're
will
all
slap the living shit right out of you.
like we're all in agreement.
You ever
that-
gotten any of this in your face?
I did last
Yeah,
week.
in his
Yeah,
eye.
how'd that go for?
Got
Whoa.
something in his eye.
I mean, I put this on X, and I had a lot of people agree with me.
They were all females too, probably.
No, they were dudes.
Oh, that's weird. I don't have a comment
Ooh,
for that.
Sebastian Tortelli.
yeah.
All right. anyways.
All right.
Good lord.
So let's get on to in our Complete Racing Solutions
Get
halftime
off
report here.
Seb. Don't get
Yeah,
off.
yeah, let's
Just
get
off,
the top.
Seb.
Yeah,
get
you're-
off the top.
Where's your mind at,
Wow.
brother?
Wow.
I
Hold-
told
Seb-
you.
hold-
I told
hold
you
on,
that.
hold
Dude,
on.
he looks at me a little weird. Dude.
Hold on,
Seb and
hold on.
Deb.
More, yeah, I know. I have pictures of it. More comments here. Cole talking about good-looking dude, guys, pants being tight, and spending $2,000 on a vacuum. Next thing you know, he's signing up for the girls' MX class. Yep.
I might win a title.
Members are on to you, brother.
Might win a title.
Members
you might.
are on to you.
You might.
Yeah.
You might.
So this is gonna get a little rated R. But
Oh,
Wyman,
My God. Here we
Wyman
go.
and I were down at Loretta's.
All right, dude. I don't
We're
know
gonna
if you can
stop
tell
this
a Wyman
story
story right
immediately.
now.
We're gonna stop
you
this
cannot
story
tell a Wyman story
immediately.
right now.
Wyman and beer
Oh,
tent
my
Loretta's.
God.
I don't
But
want to
there
know
was
about
a-
it.
Careful.
There-
Careful.
Listen, it's not that bad. And
Be ready
it's
to
not
pause.
that bad on us anyway. But there was a nasty rumor in the pits. I'm talking nasty. That there was a tranny riding the women's class, right?
There was.
Okay, so there was a tranny riding the women's class, right?
Sandra was pissed.
And the beer tent just starts going, chick with the dick, chick with the dick, just chanting it.
Oh my God, I remember hearing about this.
Oh,
Cassandra
boy.
was
Wyman was fired up. He just starts. And then later on, dude, I was in the burnout zone on the pit bike.
Mhm.
And we were a little juiced up. I went to pop it up, do a little wheelie, blew my left hand off, and just wadded it right in the
Wow.
pits at Loretta's.
Wow.
Yeah. And then me and Wyman got back to the van, and Matt was trying to make a sandwich, and I was talking shit to Matt, and he just takes the whole loaf of bread and smacks me with it, and it's open, and it just explodes in the
Jesus,
van.
God.
So just
Gets
I'm
worse.
like, Matt, I want a sandwich, and now I can't because you fucking exploded the whole loaf of bread.
God,
It gets
dude,
worse.
I miss hanging out at Loretta's, man. I miss those days.
Gets worse.
And then another one, he clowned me pretty hard.
On another one. And
That's
another
no
one.
surprise.
So we're leaving, right?
Loretta's?
And this is
Loretta's.
me. Yeah,
the
we're-
same year.
Same year.
Same year.
We're in the van. We're rolling.
So you've
out.
been slapped now with a loaf of bread.
weeded it on the pit bike.
You weeded on the pit bike, which is this explains why he can't use a handbrake, because he can't even keep his left hand on to hold on, let alone use a finger to bang that handbrake.
As he's also in the beer tent screaming, "Chick with a dick! Chick with a dick!"
I had a couple wobble pops, but
Wobble pops? What are we in Canada?
Wow.
Are we in Canada right
The
now?
names that these kids come up with stuff.
My God.
a wobble pop.
Uh,
Anyway, we're driving out
a
of there,
wobble wop?
and we're up by Loretta's house, and I'm tuned in. I'm trying to get on the GPS, like I'm trying to figure out how to get home,
And
right?
tuned up.
And we're driving past the cemetery, and Matt just goes, "How many people do you think died in there?" And I'm like, "I don't know what do you mean. A couple of them probably." And he's like, "You mean you think all of them?"
That's awesome.
And then I was like, "You got me, brother."
That's
Matt
awesome.
does do that shit every now and then.
Isn't that the most Matt thing you ever
That
heard?
is the most Matt fucking
That is
thing ever.
pretty
And then he
good.
started wheezing. You know how he wheezes when he laughs?
Dude, it is unfortunate that nobody watching this or understands who this person is. But if y'all knew our buddy Matt, this would be funny.
Yeah.
Because all this shit is exactly what Matt would do.
Yep.
That's
No, we had a good time. That was fun.
It's always a good time going to Loretta's.
And for the record, Sebastian Tortelli's a good-looking dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Matt Wyman is not a good-looking dude.
Yep.
Don't.
Jesus. All right. Moving on here. In our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report, Holster Co. Reload Rant. This is me. Let me focus this in here.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm going to fucking rant about this.
Oh, boy. Dropping the F-bomb.
You're going to know this. I don't know if you're going to know this.
He's going up
much.
an octave.
Okay. Watching a Formula One video this weekend,
Mhm.
Friday.
From Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
Max
Hmm?
misses the practice
'Cause
or
his
whatever
daughter was just being born.
and media day
Yep.
because of his daughter being born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a rule in the FIM rule book that if you miss media day,
Hmm?
you get fined. Now, there are existential circumstances a la your child being born, so they figure you won't get fined. But there's a fine in the rule book if you don't make it to media day.
Yeah.
Why the hell don't we have this? Why is it just, whatever, dude, it's fine, no problem. Oh, we can't talk to anybody. Dude, this drives me insane. Pinnacle of motorcycle racing, and we cannot have rules of like, hey, you got to show up for fucking media after the race, or hey, you got to show up Friday for press day because we need to talk to you. This is why shit is such
You
a
ran
joke
it about this
sometimes.
last week, homie.
No, not exactly the same. And
think
look, there's
hang on.
again, there should be a rule: points and fines. Points and fines in the rule book. You gotta show up to the corral afterwards for 30 minutes. Timer starts at this time after the race, ends at this time. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think it's because just like the AMA, MX Sports. I mean, they're both the same. Feld, whatever. It's because they cater to the top stars, where FIA just doesn't give two shits. Plain and simple. Like
we shouldn't give shits either.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll ever be that way.
We don't give a shit about anything else.
Yeah, I know.
You want to take the sport to the next level? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never get.
I got breaking news.
It'll never
I
be
was
that
just
way.
scrolling on Instagram.
Hold on. We'll talk about it in a second.
It'll never be that way. Like, I agree with what you're saying. Like, I mean, dude, the FIA they find the drivers and the teams for everything.
I understand.
I mean, literally,
we
everything.
should too.
Yeah, and I just don't think it'll ever be that way. I think it should, but I don't think it'll ever be that way. I
It's
think
not
they're too afraid. I think they're too afraid to see what might happen if you start finding guys for shit like that.
We're
But
not
I'm-
afraid of anything else.
Yeah, I know.
But this,
I know.
holy shit.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no,
Holster
I don't disagree with
Holster
you.
Co Reload
I
Rate.
don't disagree with you. I think you're right.
Shout out to Holster Co Mike. Ran into him at Myers on Friday night.
But I don't
him
think
and Roxy.
What was he buying?
I don't know. They were grocery shopping. They was telling me how he got some new TV from his dad that's an outdoor TV.
this is how we get in the weeds.
So he put it in the garage, and then he like hard mounted it, and then he was trying to hook up the speaker, like stepped up, fucking hit his head, thought he broke his neck. It's been fucking rough. I don't know. It was a lot. He told me it was a long story about him
Anyways.
hitting his head and
Anyways.
thought he broke his neck. He's better now.
From
Anyways.
a TV.
Anyways.
From a TV. Yeah, well, he says heavy as shit because it's like one of those legit outdoor TVs that's like all weather or whatever. So he says it's heavy as fuck. It's not like a normal one.
GWS holster mic.
Yep.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. We love you.
Do you want my breaking news?
Yeah, breaking news. Go ahead. Halftime report here. So this is the
I
perfect
just saw
time.
a photo of Jet Lawrence
Oh,
pop up on
boy.
the internet
With his girlfriend?
Oh, boy.
in a dappered out suit. He's in
Okay.
New York City.
Cool.
Guess what he's attending tomorrow?
I don't know.
And I don't know how.
Fashion Week?
I don't know how this works.
Fashion Week.
The Met Gala.
Oh my God.
Well, Jacob Hayes got him in. I'm just kidding. But
I don't really.
It probably
you
is-
guys
probably
maybe
is a
help me
washer.
out here.
Eh.
But what is the Met Gala?
Your,
What
your guy,
significance is-
your guy's going to be going full liberal here soon. The fact that he is at the Met Gala should make
First
you
off,
very disturbed.
First off, Mr. Feelings, you're the last person to talk about liberals on this show.
Your boy's going full liberal, and he might get sucked into a world that is not good for him.
He's posting simp photos like a bitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's also facts, too. But, dude, you start going to the Met Gala, you're in New York City, those are not the people you want to be hanging around.
That is.
I mean,
It's
that's
facts.
That's
You know I'm
kinda-
right.
That
That's
is a thing.
interesting. And
Yeah,
we've never had
amazingly, you're talking about facts, not feelings right
I don't
now.
think we've ever had a motocross, supercross guy attend anything.
I mean, they're
like
not
that,
going to know who
so-
the fuck he is. And
They're
give two
gonna have
shits.
no
idea
They don't
who
give
he
two
is,
shits.
so-
He is like the amount of money that Jet Lawrence makes with the people he's going to be roaming around with is like.
Very interesting.
You could find that in
Yeah,
a couch.
so
showing
how's
to
that?
I don't know how we end up in something like,
Like,
that.
Jacob
hi-
Hayes
yeah.
definitely did not get him that.
No,
invite.
but that's a Wasserman connection for sure.
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. I just saw that pop up
I don't
because
think
he's
that's
been
good.
kind of like teasing photos of like some high class
Maybe his
like,
girlfriend.
suit thing.
Yeah, his girlfriend.
What does she do?
She's not
She's a
that
singer.
in.
She's a singer.
She's not that high up though.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
when you're in the music world though, you know people who know people.
I don't know. Interesting though.
Not good though.
Is she like a Latin music person or
I don't know.
Where's
I
she
just know
from?
she's a
Does
singer.
anybody know?
Oh,
She's a singer.
she's
all I'll say
American.
is, if I'm Jet Lawrence, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Here.
I don't know. That's a good thing either.
It's not good. You start hanging out with those kind of people. It's
I mean, it's a nice suit.
I mean, it is a nice suit, but
You
it
start
says
hanging
the
out with
Met
Jeffrey
Gala
Epstein
2025. Like,
You
is that the same Met
Yes,
Gala?
Has
that,
to be.
There's only
Has
one
to be.
Met Gala.
Yeah,
there's those are the Jeffrey Epstein people.
David. Jet sounds like he's getting gayer by the day. Also, nothing wrong with it, but definitely didn't see that coming. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Like I said, man, those are the
Hey,
Jeffrey
you know
Epstein
who?
people.
You know who should go to the Met Gala?
Nobody should go to the Met Gala.
Sebastian Tortelli.
You
Yeah.
probably could,
Good looking
but
dude.
those are not
Yep.
the people you want to be hanging out with.
All right, Holster Co. Reload rant. Anybody got anything else they want to rant about?
No.
Make sure to check out Holster Co. for all your things to go bang bang and boom boom and all the things to hold those things in. And yeah,
Bop bop.
2A. That's all I'll
2A.
say. 2A. Okay. Let's jump into TLR tinfoil hat here and talk a little silly season here.
Let's go. What do
So-
you got? I'm not too much in tune.
Let's talk Eli Tomac here.
Let's talk.
Where do we think he lands?
Didn't we have this conversation last week?
There was a very cryptic, like swap moto thing that I guess came out,
Okay.
and they were at the ranch, and there were some graphics there that they were not supposed to see.
Ooh, from where?
That is the $1 million question.
Is it $1 million or is it a $2 million question?
It's probably a $2
So
million
there's definitely
question.
other bikes being ridden up there.
I've heard that Ducati is way in play with him.
That's a terrible idea.
I don't like it. I
don't
don't
like
like
it
it
either.
though.
I don't like it either,
You're going to be taking a ton of steps back.
but I've also heard that the Star thing is fully out. Like he's definitely I've talked to people who would know that he is talking to other teams for sure.
Well, we know this.
So the star thing is completely done for
Dead in the
sure,
water,
100%.
No chance in hell.
Dead in the water, no chance.
I mean, it's 3 teams. It's literally it's KTM, Triumph, and Ducati. Like those are the only 3 teams left.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he's playing with that Suzuki?
No.
Nope.
They don't. I don't think they have the money for
I
that.
don't think
Do you
so.
think he's playing for any kind of private Yamaha?
That's a big undertaking
don't
in your
know,
last
man.
in your
I don't
twilight
know.
years. That's a big undertaking.
I like Club a lot, but that to me is $1. Like his, because we've talked about.
It's just going to be a dollar sign.
I'm
thing,
going to say,
right?
yeah. So we've talked about 2 different people. We obviously talked
think they
about
could
him,
definitely
and we've
get-
talked about Anderson. But I believe there's a big dollar sign difference between Jason Anderson and him at this point in their career too.
Well, I think Eli. I mean, he could get a factory motorcycle
Yes.
and work with something there.
Yes.
It's just making the dollars make sense.
Yeah.
So
Like I said, I've heard, and again, this is all speculation at this point. I've heard that the Ducati thing's way on the table there.
Which is
that bike probably screams with him on it though.
Yeah.
but once again, though, we go with thing hydraulic clutch and chromoly steel frame.
That is something, but he doesn't have an option.
I think it's terrible. And I will just say this: any
Is
of the
that
three-
a steel frame?
I
I'm
think so.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, the
No,
Triumph is no. That's an
Triumph's steel
aluminum.
frame.
It's aluminum because it was the Honda thing that was.
So the,
Triumph
o-
is
so
aluminum,
the only
too.
other thing, and Steve keeps pointing to this, is that like if he were to go to Triumph. Now again, I've heard Triumph's not trying to fish for something that big for their first year in 450s or whatever. But there is the Jeremy Coker connection there.
Yeah, there is.
That is the only thing that connects that. Now, outside of that, I haven't heard anything else. Like I said, Steve has been real hard on his shows about the Triumph thing makes more sense because of Coker, but outside of that, I haven't heard anything, man. And other people behind the scenes that I've heard of, no one has said he's talking to Triumph that I've heard from. Everybody says Ducati, and
I just don't think Ducati has the infrastructure right off the rip to like
They
accommodate
don't have
somebody
the
like
R&D, dude.
I don't think
No.
so either. But
And that's
this
a putting
person,
it
this
And
person I was
Supercross.
Supercross.
This
Well, even
person I was
outdoors is
talking
going.
to this week, I made a comment about like, dude, I've heard Ducati's not trying to spend that much money here in the
They're
U.S.
not. They've even said it.
And he said they're not, except for him.
The crazy
And
thing.
I went,
The crazy
All
thing though
right.
is like it's almost like you're almost putting the cart before the horse because we know that Cairoli.
The cart before the horse.
It's a very old school saying, but
Yeah.
Ca-
I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
he
there's
knows what-
nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Saying.
Fucking boomers.
Fucking retard.
Cairoli's coming over here to debut it so they can get all homologated and stuff. But it's like,
Yes.
dude, we don't even know how that bike's gonna adapt over here. And Guadagnini has done fine, and Sewer got the first podium in Switzerland, but like they haven't lit the world on fire over in the GPs.
Yeah, but those aren't 2 riders that can really necessarily light the world on fire.
That's my point, though. You're talking about 2 dudes that are not on Eli's level, and they're
Yeah.
already having problems with those guys. What do you think is going to happen with somebody like Eli, who just beats the living shit out of a 450?
I don't know, man.
And another thing, and this is going to sound crazy because everything we say about Ducati, right now with their engine model, they don't have enough in that 450 to accommodate what Eli wants.
yeah.
Like, not right now, and that bike is not going to get an
I
upgrade.
mean, the funny thing is everybody keeps talking about KTM as the only place with the infrastructure for
I
them.
think it's a terrible idea, too.
Dude, to be honest, I think everybody's running away from KTM because of the financial issues.
And I think him going to KTM's a terrible idea because that's
I
steel
mean,
frame.
I don't think that's good,
Yeah,
but I
he'd
think that
crumble that
out,
thing.
out of the teams that are available to him, right? Because obviously he's not going to Honda. He's not going to Suzuki as far as we know, because, again, I haven't heard anything about that. Triumph, like we said, is not trying to fish for a big thing. Ducati, we've heard, okay, cool, first-year bike woes, whatever. KTM is the only one that has the R&D and the infrastructure to basically handle him, in my opinion. However, again, like, I don't think they have any money. They can keep saying they're fine, whatever they want to.
They shut down production again.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. Like,
Yeah.
the financial issues are not over with
they,
that.
They swept everything in GPs this weekend and then won the Supercross here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Could
that's
you-
a lot of bonus money going out the door.
I know.
Could you imagine if they were like all of this was just like
There's no money going on.
Could you? Yeah, that's why I say Lucas Kunin and Sasha are not. Dude, I heard that Sasha Kunin's making like 40K.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Terrible. But like, could you imagine
They
though?
just
there's-
need to race this year, like, because all that happened. They just need to race this year for results to
and
be
Lucas
able
is finally starting to put it together.
They got a motorhome, though.
to be able to put it.
Yeah. Could you imagine though if this if this ends up being a whole swapperoo and like Chase doesn't actually go to Cowie, Chase stays at KTM and fucking Eli ended up at Kawasaki, I'd be like, wow, that'd be like the fucking rug underneath everybody. But
Eli, come home.
go to Cowie, buddy.
Man.
Your best years. All I'll say, and I stand by this, it's a real bummer that that the Star thing is done, dead in the water, because wherever
That is a
Eli
bummer.
is, wherever Eli ends up, and this is not me dogging on Eli. Obviously, I've said that I think Eli, what he's doing right
He
now
won't
is
win
insane.
again.
He's never going to win again.
Yeah.
Like those bikes, they don't fit him as a person,
Not right now.
and it's
Not
just
right
not
now.
going to happen. And it sucks to see he can win.
Mhm.
He's literally already proven it earlier this year. We saw how well he was when he found his footing at the end of Nationals and even MX of Nations.
Yeah.
And now you're going to go to a situation where, dude, you might not even get on the box
Mhm.
ever again. I hate that for him.
Yep.
I hate it.
So now, funny thing here, Tim Cross, shout out Tim in the comments here. I think that's why Juju kissed Deegan's ass is to get on Star next year. That's
for what?
That on the
No,
podium.
I know what he
on the
said. What do you
podium there.
like? What is he
Yeah, but
referring to?
Juju's already locked
Because
in. though.
everybody's running from KTM because of the financial issues. Yeah, but
Oh.
unless if this bankruptcy's still getting fucked around like it seems to be here, they can terminate contracts. They were doing that with the MotoGP guys. They literally went in there at this first round and they were like, "Hey, everybody who's got a MotoGP contract, get fucked. It's renegotiated now."
Yeah, I think all
So-
that just proves that whole fake. That whole thing was fake.
Who?
Deegan and Juju.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was all
We'll s-
between those two. Like,
I mean, and
let's-
Juju's
Yeah, I
already
don't know.
he already tested for Star back in the day. So
So you guys want to hear something else crazy that I found out this week, and maybe you guys have heard this. So if this doesn't surprise you, sorry. I heard.
not surprised. Sorry.
Get fucked.
sorry, not sorry.
I heard that Beta
Beta.
is going after Big Fish, and I heard they offered Barsha $2 million, and he told him no.
Is he the big fish you're talking about?
He's the big fish that they've gone after so far.
$2 million?
Mm-hmm.
Where's
Where the hell
Beta
are they
getting
getting that
$2 million?
money?
That's what I said.
Where the
Great
fuck are they
question.
giving that money? They don't
I
sell
don't
enough
know.
trials bikes to give Barsha
Dude.
$2 million.
I don't have any idea.
$2 million.
Well, in all fairness, Beta and KTM are kind of the two like bikes for woods racing there, and GNCC, as we all know, is
There's
a
not a lot of betas
big
at the GNCC
fucking
area.
thing.
Beta. Well,
There ain't very many betas there.
If
I
that's,
don't know,
if
man.
that's the thing, man, they need to pay Ben Watson a hell of a lot more money because he's another dude that ain't making dick over in the GPs round.
I
for
don't
that
know.
Team.
This is just again
Who's the source?
speculation.
Who's saying
and
this?
Hearsay. I heard $2 million.
From who?
So originally I thought he said Eli, and then I had to call him and ask him directly
Oh, so it's somebody
to
that we
make
know.
sure.
So you can
and
dwindle
then-
down that list.
Gotcha.
I know people.
No, I know you know people.
Why you gotta act like I don't know people that you don't know?
I don't
it-
think you
was it-
took that the wrong way. The fact that you said you could call him, he was wondering, and the fact
Was
that
it
you said
somebody that made me really nervous?
No, it wasn't him.
Oh.
I didn't get nervous, by the way.
That
You
is
fucking-
insane.
You did,
If
and I
that's
told him
true,
that.
that
Don't
is
worry, it's fine.
insane. And once again, I just want to know, just like Cole, where the hell are they getting that money?
J-Matt says that betas are pretty popular in the Rockies.
They're also very popular in trials.
Yeah, so
But still,
$2
where the
million
hell? $2
bucks.
million?
dude, I don't know, man.
And Barsha's like, dude, I look better in red.
I mean,
I don't know.
That's a guy that doesn't want to ride an unproven bike.
There's
No.
still so many things that have to. Yeah, but that bike I feel is even more proven though than the other one. At
It
least
is.
they've raced Supercross.
The 450 is proven. I
At
mean,
least
it's
they've
getting
raced
better.
Supercross, and it appears to be getting better because when you have Mitchell Oldenburg and Benny getting top 5 starts and running up front in heats and mains,
At the end of the year.
to me, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, at least there's something there we can work with. I mean, you have Triumph and Ducati have no history
No.
in 450 Supercross whatsoever. So what the fuck is that going to look like?
Look, man, too bad we can't get Fantic. Too bad Yamaha won't let Fantic come over here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the Eli savior.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
There
it's
we
a
go.
Yamaha. It's a,
Fantic.
Ya-
Start
it's a
up-
Yamaha.
I'm gonna start that rumor.
Bro, it's a
Fantic
Yamaha. Bro, it's a Yamaha. It's
I
a fucking
understand.
Yamaha,
I
and they've been
understand.
killing it with Glenn Koldenhoff and all those
Yeah,
dudes.
Koldenhoff's looking good.
Also, crazy thing, and maybe Lewis Phillips has already touched on this, but maybe he's not because I don't think he just wants to put it out there since it's not 100% confirmed. Sounds like Louis Voster's Fantic, will though, is going to be throwing a lot of money Hurling's way to end his career at Fantic because Hurling's and KTM are done.
Well, that doesn't.
And that's another thing. That's another thing right there. He's leaving KTM,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently Louis Voster's is like, well, we'll throw him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, if Hurling's is leaving KTM,
Mm-hmm.
that tells you right there that's like, it's not good.
In all fairness, I think the Hurlings and KTM relationship was
It's been
pretty
rocky.
severed and rocky for
But the
a
fact
while.
that he's finally at the end of his career be like, dude,
Yeah.
it's getting even too bad for me.
Mhm.
Either way, man, it's a real bummer because I think wherever Eli goes, it's just not going to be good. And it's just such a bummer that, like, this is going to be the last year we're going to see him, like, at his peak form.
Well, like I said, I was pretty surprised to hear that Beta was putting up a $2 million
I just don't
offer.
understand where the fuck that money's coming from.
Sorry, breaking news. I got distracted while I was breaking the
Is
news.
that a picture of Jet?
While I was spreading the rumor about Fantic.
Did you really put that out there?
Oh, yeah.
Do it. Nice.
Wasserman's tagged in it, so definitely
Oh,
a
yeah,
Wasserman.
Wasserman deal for
Still,
sure.
Jet.
This is why we're the stupidest motocross show on the
Jet,
internet,
don't-
because we'll just start rumors for no reason.
Well, I just said, can Fantic give Eli some money?
Hey,
It is
we'll
Yamaha.
know if Jet shows up at round 1 and he's struggling because then the real Jet Lawrence isn't alive anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a clone.
100%. So, all right. Anything else you guys have heard with silly season here? I mean, there's
No.
Lewis Phillips in his interview with Chase this weekend. did
Levi's
ask-
going to be re-upping with PC for quite a few more years.
Interesting
I've
move.
seen that.
Yeah, what was it, like 2 or
Another
3
thing
years?
that's really interesting,
Is it 2 or 3 years though? Do you know?
I think it's 2.
Okay, so that's cool. So he's not going anywhere.
This is a question that I would love to ask him maybe on media day or press day or something, but
Doesn't have a press pass.
I don't know if he'll run it come race time, but I noticed that in all the Paula videos and stuff, he's running the KHI like factory rotor.
Levi?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen that on a pro circuit bike.
Dude, he's looking good. I mean, it's Paul.
Yeah, but I mean, like, a pro circuit bike's
Yeah.
usually like a braking or a galloper.
Yeah, it's a
or
break. Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, he's got the rotor on there like Anderson and Prado and those guys are running.
Every one of
So,
those videos.
I thought that was kind of
Good
interesting.
catch. I didn't notice that.
Every one of those videos that I've seen of Paul, and I'm sure we've seen the same videos between him and Ryder D. I just
And
think
Prado doesn't look that impressive.
Jesus.
I feel like
Hey, the check didn't cash this week.
yeah. I feel like fucking Levi and Ryder D just waiting for those bikes to grenade. Ryder D is all of a sudden just found his like inner Barsha, and I don't know where that comes from. Never used to ride that. Never used to ride like that.
He looks spicy. I don't know how fast he's going, but he looks
Yeah, I
like
mean-
he's throwing that thing around.
Yeah, but how often do we watch Ryder D and we say the same thing? We're like, God, this kid looks fast, and then you just can't put it together on race day. But like, at least he's gonna be back.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
What's
see.
Casey Cochran doing? When's he back?
He's still hurt, man. He's been riding. He started riding like almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
he showed a lot of speed last outdoor.
he was good.
He's
Yeah.
Still a
good.
bummer that Jalik Swole's not going to be ready to go either. But we get a Harrop. So
Yep. All right. Anything else? Nothing? That's it? It's been your complete racing
I think
solutions.
that's all I got.
Are we supposed to talk about something else?
I don't think so.
No.
I think that's
No.
all I have on my notes. So
Sebastian Tortelli, anyone?
No.
No,
Oh,
shut up.
uh,
okay, we're back.
No. The only thing I got to say is rest in peace, Joel Evans.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I heard
been
about
a
that.
bummer
I
couple of
don't
weeks
know
here.
much about that guy, but it sounds like from all the posts and stuff, he was a hell of a dude. So
He had a pretty cool YouTube channel. Also, and I'm not trying to start shit. Not that it matters because nobody watches the show. Sounds like that whole situation could have been severely avoided from track
Interesting.
issues and what happened with where he crashed. So
I don't know much about the situation.
let's just put it that it was I think if I
Like
remember
Tim
correct,
Geyser style thing.
it was a step up. There was fourth gear wide open on a 450 to get up over it. And they like just didn't work the face. The face was just terrible going up it.
Cased it.
And dude, I don't know. There's no, and I don't even want to see it. There's video out there. Somebody caught like the tail end of it. Don't want to see it. Apparently, just even the top guys were like, dude, this is unnecessary. Like when you're fourth gear wide open on a 450, just get up and over or something.
Yeah.
That's absolutely unnecessary.
100%.
So
100%. So, all right. Well, with that being said, that's going to wrap up our Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Make sure to get with them to get your phone call with Coach Rob. Before we get started with our 250 race recap, I want to highlight NANO XTREME here. If you guys would like a free sample of NANO XTREME, there is a email address in the description down below. Make sure to send me your name, email, and shipping address in a nice form in the email, so that way I can just copy, paste it into an email, and send it over to them. And if you guys did send me that, I've just been saving them up here. I got to send them over. It's not their fault. It's mine. I'm just trying to get more than like one or two at a time to send over to them to get those samples out. But we will get you those. Do not worry. And with that being said, we're
if
going
it's on your hands, don't touch your eyes.
Yeah, that too.
Cole.
Very true.
And with that being said, we are going to jump into our 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Flo Racing. Flo Racing for all of your small bore bike needs. 125, 85, 65, 50cc. They make awesome PW50s. make sure to check them out. They've got parts. They can help you out with anything. You can call Scott over there, and he will give you guys a hand. And with that being said, 250 race recap here. Well, Deegs gets it done. Now,
Give it to us.
here's what.
What's the segment?
Oh, the Isaac Nelson Designs.
Oh,
Okay.
we're in it.
Now, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to start off with mine, and then we're going to kick it over to Justin here. Nothing wrong with that pass. Nothing.
Oh, look at him cracking
He
his
was.
neck. Getting ready.
He's getting ready for it. Dude.
My neck started.
Wow,
My neck
you
started.
probably heard that in the
My
microphone
neck
there.
started-
Holy
Dude,
crap!
he's getting ready for it.
Dude,
My neck started
He just
hurting
over here.
already.
He's like, yep,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
give it to me.
Give it to me.
My neck started hurting, and I was like, God, I got a crack, and I even surprised myself there.
All right. Anyway, so okay, Deeks caught him. Whether it be lappers or whatever you want to say, Deeks caught him. He was nice to him for several corners. He was on him. He was clearly going to the front. Now, yes, Davies could have maybe rode a wide bike, ended up keeping him behind him. But at the end of the day, $50,000 bonus for winning, $1 million, $750K, whatever you want to call it, for winning that title. And again, I had this conversation with, because this is the talk.
It still is.
Isaac Bones texts me today, and he's like, I just got a vent about this. I'm like, all right, brother, let's hear it. And so he starts in on it, and I said, look, man, here's the thing. There was nothing wrong with it. I text Daniel Blair after it happened, after you and I were arguing already, and was like, was there anything wrong with this? Because Cole Davies is Daniel Blair's guy. He said, absolutely zero wrong. He goes, I would punch my grandma in the face for $1,000, let alone $500,000 to $1 million. I'm all in. He goes, he didn't do anything wrong. He went up. He made solid body-to-body contact. He didn't slice his front wheel off or anything. And as I told Isaac today, I said, you could not have planned that he was going to go over that berm and get stuck and end up fifth. I think in Deegan's mind, and in everyone's mind basically, you go up, you make contact, maybe he tips over, but he gets right up and goes, and boom, you're off winning the race. And he finishes second, which again doesn't wrap the title last night.
Yeah, or you go up the inside. I'm cutting him off because I already know what
Okay,
direction.
oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I already know what direction.
Well, he's got his
gonna
neck
go.
cracked, so he's ready to start
Yeah,
yelling.
he's cracking his neck,
Red
ready
face
to
and everything.
unload on us.
Yep.
Here's some Nano Extreme for your painful take.
You want to get sprayed in the eye again?
So,
Wow, sexual.
Deegan came up the inside 2 to 3 times before this situation.
He was nice to him.
Let him know that he was there.
Yep.
And this falls on Davies, in my opinion. You're coming down there. You're coming down that straightaway. You can hear a Yamaha.
Yep.
You know where that bike's at.
Sucking
and when
air.
your guy going into a corner like that, you have the inside. You control the corner.
Yep.
He could have backed out of it. And if he would have backed out of it a little bit, there wouldn't have been as hard of contact. Should have learned from qualifying because it was the exact same situation in qualifying. Tried to go around the outside. He wanted to pass him. He knew he was there. Showed him a wheel 2 to 3 times. You hear him coming up the inside. You got to know he's going to show you a wheel again.
Yep.
And I think it was a little bit of, yes, Deegan did go in hot.
Mm-hmm.
Did make contact.
Yep.
I don't think he meant to take him out. I really don't.
Dude, it was,
I really don't.
as I told Bones, you cannot plan him to get stuck on the back of the berm. And, like, even once he got unstuck there, it was like, okay, I don't even know how it worked. Like, he must have just got caught up in that tough block a little bit, and then he lost his balance or whatever. That's not Deegan's fault, dude. Like, that's just something that unfortunately happened. He should have rolled over that berm just like once he got going, rolled into the other lane for a sec, boom, back into the normal lane, and off on his way.
Yeah.
Still in
and
second or third place.
So last thing I'll say before I kick it over to this guy. Yes, it is a teammate.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a boundary there.
No, Daniel Blair told me that there are no teammates once that flag drops.
Okay. Well,
Once the gate drops and the green flag's waving, there are no teammates.
but we talk about, like, hey, are these guys boys off the track? I don't care how tight you are off the track. When something like this happens,
Yeah.
that ain't your boy no more.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole dynamic
Is
off
going to
the
change.
track is now changed.
Yep. I will agree with that for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Mhm.
Another thing that I saw was interesting was Davies looked a little more locked in. You know, they pan the camera on him. He's over in the corner by himself, sitting on the stairs of the TV truck.
Mhm.
Kind of
Yep,
noticed
I
that.
saw that too.
locked in, ain't talking to nobody. So
Yep.
Dynamics gonna change a little bit. The star compound, I think.
I think so too. Okay, your turn.
Look, I think everything I said
I'm
last
gonna go
night.
take a leak while he spits at you.
you definitely misinterpreted everything I was saying.
Oh,
I don't,
sorry.
I don't
Oh,
have a,
sorry.
I don't have a problem with the pass. It's the fact that it was his teammate. That's what I have a problem with. I even said it. You can go back and look at the group text. If that's Juju, Joe, Garrett, Cody, I don't care. If it's them, dude, and I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy, but I grew up in an era where, dude, you saw it off somebody's front end, center punch him. I don't like, dude, Rubbin's racing. I don't agree with you do that to a teammate. I don't care about the 50K. I don't care about the championship because of what you guys just ended with. It's the dynamic. You guys are supposed to be boys. Now you've done that to somebody with you have to do motos with all week. That makes everything complicated and weird. And you can say that, like, oh, he couldn't have planned for Davies to, blow the berm or whatever. Okay, fine. You never – and I don't think that Hayden intentionally did it. But because it's Hayden and he has a history of getting into it with people, you can't necessarily say that. You can't actually say that you don't think that he was going to go in there thinking he was going to run him wide and go off the berm. If this was anybody else, be like, okay, but this is not the first time we've seen Hayden get it, whether he instigated it or not, which I'm not saying that all the times he's got into it with people, he's instigated, because he hasn't. For some reason, all of a sudden, Joe wants to fuck with him every time Hayden's coming through the pack. Don't know where that came from. Maybe Joe was just getting sick and tired of getting punted around by people. If it was anybody else, I don't have a problem with it, but it's because it's your teammate. And as much as I respect and love Daniel Blair, I wholeheartedly disagree with.
Oh,
you don't do that to a teammate.
I'm texting him.
But this comes down to this has nothing. This is not a moto thing. This is a respect thing.
Yeah.
Was it? Deegan didn't need to do that. Okay, man, you really want to win. So does Cole, and that's why people are like, "Why was Cole crying? He didn't have a real shot." Mathematically, he did, but yes, it was going to take a lot. It's like I said in the thing last night. Whether you want to believe he caught Cole because Cole was struggling with lappers, either way, whatever you want to believe, doesn't really matter. That's not the conversation. That was the only way he was going to make a pass, because I do agree with what they said on the broadcast that if Cole was close enough, if Hayden did find a way around him, whether it was in a rhythm section, whatever, Cole is probably going to pass him right back in the whoops.
Yep.
Okay, man, take a second. You go into Salt Lake. You're going to win the championship, barring anything crazy. I understand if you want to take the chance of wrapping it up now, but you could have obviously, that contradicts couldn't have planned it. But he bumped him, whatever. I don't have a problem with the pass. It's not the pass part that I have a problem with. It's the fact that it was his teammate. If that's Juju, we're not even having this conversation. Am I, as a Juju guy, a little upset? Yeah, but dude, Rubbin's racing.
Yeah.
It's you don't do that to a teammate. I disagree on that, because at some point – you have to have some character, and people are like, oh, I'd punch my grandma, I'd punch my mom, or I'd do this for all this kind of money. At some point, there has to be a little bit of character building, because he's not going to be able to get away with that stuff in the 450 class. Plain and simple. You're just not. You think you're going to be able to do that to Ando, whether you're faster than him or not, which we can probably all agree by that time he's going to be faster than Ando. I don't think you want to play that game with Anderson. You're not going to want to play that game with Barsha. There's a lot of dudes you don't want to play that game with them, even if you're going to walk away from them on far as talent and speed. But you got to have friends. And now you've made an enemy with Cole Davies. Because like Cole just said, if you were boys off because everybody likes to claim when we were sitting up here talking about, oh, they were actually buddies. There's no beef there. Cole's right. If they were friends, which the internet claims that they were, they're not friends anymore.
I mean, they might be boys, but it's still going to be
the dynamic's changed.
And now that's made it weird.
You're totally right. The dynamic has changed.
And now that's made it weird. And if you can say that, oh, Hayden doesn't give a shit, that's cool. That's fine. He doesn't have to give a shit. Nobody's telling him he does. But now you've made it weird upon the team. And also the reason why I don't believe that they're friends, all of a sudden you're buddies with Michael Mosman. You're going up and you're talking to him, but you're spinning on the bike to get warmed up before the main. But Cole Davies is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I seen that. I noticed
that. That was strange.
It's either they weren't actually ever boys, or it's very calculated, which we know with Hayden, everything's calculated, and that's fine. You're building your brand. You're doing what you got to do. I don't have a problem with all of that. Do what you got to do. You got to find things, manifest a beef to get pumped up about stuff. I don't care about that. But I disagree with anybody.
He was manifesting that championship yesterday.
But I don't believe that I don't believe you had to do that to a teammate.
Yeah.
I just don't agree. That's the problem I have that issue with. You don't do that to a teammate. Plain and simple, he was probably going to win the championship either way.
Oh, yeah.
So why does it matter? Why does it matter? Okay, you got second, whatever. He wanted to win. That's cool. I understand you want to prove a point. You couldn't have gone into Salt Lake and proved it. Or once again, even if you didn't, you still won the title. who cares? You're more than likely going to go outdoors, and now you're the big dog again. So, like, I understand his way of thinking, but at some point we got to draw a line in the sand where there's got to be some boundaries that you don't cross, and I don't believe you should be doing that to a teammate. Whether that's Cole, Michael Mosman, Dax Bennick, doesn't matter.
Well, don't worry. You got on the podium and told you could suck it, so.
And that's another thing,
Which
man.
You're a doubter, brother.
fucking awesome.
That's another
Look,
thing.
man,
That interview was terrible.
That interview was not good.
That was terrible, dude. I don't know how you
as
could
a
like
buy
that.
to Moto shared.
That's a terrible interview.
Pass was a little greasy, but I don't see anything wrong with it. It is what it is.
And I don't have a problem with the pass either. It's the fact that it was his teammate. I have a
teammate,
problem
I get your point with the teammate thing, but dude, the interview was top-notch douchebaggery.
with. It was bad. This is not WWE.
It was bad. It was
Disrespectful.
I just hate the.
David says that you two are soft as 10-ply toilet paper.
That's fine. I think
I don't really
call
care.
me old or whatever. Like, yes, we have to have the villain guy run it, be that guy, whatever. Because look who's talking about it, everyone. But me, man, I'm not a fan of it. I'll be completely honest. It's douchey.
But it only works when he's on the winning end of it, though.
Yeah, and it's just the non-authentic part of it for me is what I can't get on board with because, you know, a swap moto interview, yeah, this blah 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 talking about his night and it's pretty normal and kosher. Gets beat and he's like, oh, we're just gonna work real hard.
Thank God.
Thank God for guiding me through this.
Hey,
blah,
man,
blah,
Marsh
blah.
Banks was rolling. He was riding really good in that heat race. I'm going to fist bump Cody Schock, but you know damn well Cody doesn't give two shits about you.
Yeah.
You put me over a berm last year and fucked me up.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I'd rather root for somebody that's authentic.
Like R.I.P. Tyler Evans. Tyler Evans back in the day was a real dick bag. Like he would center punch the shit out of you and not give two fucks if you broke your
And then he
ankle or
would
not.
wrestle you.
And then he would wrestle you in the middle of the start straight, in the middle of an LCQ. He didn't care. But
Yeah.
Deegan, we all know that's not who he really is. And you want to be
We
a
don't
villain?
know who he is.
Yeah, we really don't know who he is. Are you actually this entitled little brat that's going to tell fans to suck it? Which, by the way, if this was him telling the racers to suck it, fine. Fans, dude, say what you want, but you can't be telling the people that allow you to have a
Look,
living.
but here's the other side of it. The media machine, right? The social media. Somebody that hates you is going to open their mouth way quicker than a guy that's going to give you props.
I was gonna say, let's face it. What have we been talking about for months now? That he fucking blocked us.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I'm on block now.
yeah.
Because I was probably one of the doubters.
Well, you know we are.
Yeah.
You know he loves the haters until they actually.
But we're really not
start
doubters
talking.
anymore, though. That's the thing. We give the kid props. for how
Nobody
good he
doubted
is.
him though. Everybody
nobody
said he was going to wipe the fucking floor coming
he's
into
even
the
said
You
it.
season.
know
He's
what's
like-
ironic here?
He's like, I got to prove that I'm still the best 250, dude.
Let me go back to another Holster Co. Reload rant here, right?
Yeah.
We get so much shit because we say he's not as good at Supercross as he is at outdoors.
not.
And then,
He's not.
ironically, he's interviewing this week and being like, yeah, I got some stuff I got to tighten up on Supercross here because I'm just not as good at it as I am at outdoors.
Also,
Shocker.
then you make the comment though in the press conference about, yeah, man, if any of the 250 East dudes want to slide my money away, and that's funny, but it's like, dude, this just goes off of like your interview, like it's not a good look, man. And honestly, once again, he probably doesn't care. The media machine behind him
The
doesn't
young
care.
kids don't care.
But you
either.
can't. I don't want my kid. If I had a kid, that's not who I'm having my kid look up to.
I mean, I understand. The thing is that
It looks.
And
She makes
again,
you look
this
like a
is-
fucking asshole.
this is something you and I have differed in, right? It's the way I look at it. It's not real life, and it's all media shit at this point in this day and age, right? Which again, you're not into like I am. So to me, I'm like, this is fucking excellent because
Yeah, but
everybody's talking about it, and it's just going to continue. I don't think it's going to stop. Like everybody talks about, and even he mentioned in one of his interviews of like, yeah, you know, maybe I have to tone it down because I think he got fined for telling everybody they could suck it on the podium last night. Or at least he thought he was going to. I don't know.
Yeah,
The fines
yeah.
I haven't seen the fines yet, but maybe whatever. And he was like, well, I may have toned down a little bit, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like a lot of these guys, you know, we see them in the 250 class. They're awesome. And then they get into 450s and it mellows them out. We've seen it with everybody, including Jet, which we all thought wouldn't happen. I really hope with him we don't see that. I really hope it just fucking continues
I don't
because
think
it
it's
will
going to,
make
though.
the sport so much bigger.
But I don't think it's going to, though. Everybody gets humbled when they get in the 450 class, and he's going to be. People are going, dude. He's going to have a target on his back when he goes to the 450.
got a
class.
target
I
on him
understand.
before he even goes.
He has a target already. Dude,
But it's different when
who
you're in the
was
450
it?
class, though, when you're dealing with grown men.
Who was it?
Jason
Maybe it was
Anderson's
Don.
thing this
Don
year.
in the press conference last night was like, you know, you talk a bunch of crap or whatever. to the 250 guys, is it time to start with the 450s? And he was like, nah, man. Even Deegan was like, nah, man, we're probably going to wait a little while before we start talking crap on 450 dudes here or whatever.
After he talked crap on Jet.
Yeah,
already.
which
Like,
again,
and that's
I
what
don't
I'm-
think we're going to have to wait that long.
It's
I
just-
think by
it's
the
the
time we get to
authenticity thing, man.
yeah,
Like
authenticity.
whatever. I get the media
There's a good
machine thing,
pronunciation
but
there.
like a Bryson DeChambeau or Dean Wilson or whatever, who you see on the camera is who you are in real life.
I just wanted to play the hypothetical since we're on this, since we don't even really need to talk about the race, what he did.
Yeah.
We talk about
Okay, we'll talk about the race. He came from the back.
Yeah, he rode
Great
good.
ride. He rode awesome.
He rode well.
Mhm.
The 450s, we talk about this. Okay, you being the Jet homer that you are.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen if he plays that game with Jet?
What
The game that he
which
plays
game?
with the 250 game. The game
Are
that
you
he
talking-
plays the back
are
and
you-
forth.
are
Yes,
you
the
talking
game we're
about
talking about
talking
right
shit?
now. No.
Oh.
That already happened between him and Hunter and
Yeah.
waving the American flag. I'm talking about the on-track antics. What do you think is going to happen? Because you're talking about how you like it now. What do you think is going to happen if he tries to pull that shit with Jet? Like, what do you and honestly, like, I want you to be 100% honest.
There are going to be guys that are going to give it back to him. Now, the real question is here is because we all know Jason Anderson's at the end of his career. Justin Barcia's at, so the guys that are really good at that, right? That
Yeah.
everybody says, yeah, you're real awesome in the 250 class at banging bars with dudes until you get to 450s and it's Jason Anderson and I present the 51 and the 21 basically, right?
Yeah.
But the question is how many more years? We all know they're both at end of contracts. They're negotiating here, silly season. We don't really know where either one of them's going. We don't even know what the fuck's happening with Jason Anderson at this point right now.
Yeah.
So
we don't even know if he's alive.
and then you
Shit,
get
I
to
hope so.
everybody else. Okay, yes, you've got Cooper Webb. Won't take any shit off of him for sure. The rest of the and Hunter also. Hunter's the other one. Jet and them, like, yeah, Jet will kind of try to get back, but we've all seen Jet's not great at giving it back to him. Okay.
No. You're what do you? I guess I didn't ask that question right.
Okay.
You're talking about like the back and forth of them giving it back. Like
No,
if
I'm
he
talking
gives
about on track.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like if he gives one, if he leaves the door open, is he gonna try to run him wide? How long do you think that's going to be able to work, though, you playing that game with Jet, as far as like, oh, you're trying to get in his head, and then you finally realize that doesn't work with the big boys in the 450 class?
Yeah.
Because he does it to the 250 guys, and they spaz out. Like,
Yeah.
why we just talked about Joe. Like, Joe, for whatever reason, like, focuses on it way too much now when he's around Hayden. And then, honestly, it's pointless because it cost him time. What do you think's going to happen when he tries to pull that game with Jet? And let's be real, we know it's not going to work on Jet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
How long is
man.
that going to last before he realizes, like, oh, that doesn't work in this class?
I
Like,
don't
it
know.
doesn't work with Jet Lawrence. That doesn't work with Eli Tomac. That doesn't work with Chase Sexton. That doesn't work with those guys. How long is he going to do it before? Because you talk about how, and I get where you're going with it, but it only lasts so long when it works. When it stops working, because let's be real, you know I'm not a Jet guy, but that's not going to work with Jet Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work with.
It's not going to work with a guy who's 24, 25 years old and actually their brain's a little more
And they don't
developed.
give two shits about
Yeah.
social media, and they get in their feelings about everything. So that's what I mean. I pose the question: how long do you think that's going to work before he realizes that doesn't work on guys like Jet Lawrence?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is that the kid is good. Like, and
He's
he's
not
got
as good as Jet
skills.
Lawrence.
No, I don't think.
And he
so
never will
either.
be, in my opinion.
Well, oof, shit, that's a
Nope.
bold statement.
No,
Come
I
on.
don't
it's
think
not.
he can
It's not a bold
I
statement.
don't think he can touch Sexton either.
I don't either. I don't.
Yeah.
He can't beat Eli.
Dude, I don't.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't.
Yeah.
He is great. He is good. But this is me giving Jet all the flowers. If you want to look at it from that, he is not Jet Lawrence. He is a
Yeah.
generational talent. But I think
Wow.
Jet is
Wow,
next.
you hear
He
this?
is.
Do you hear this?
He is not. He is different.
Hold on, my dick just hit the bottom of the table here.
Clip
You
it,
make
clip
it.
it,
You make
clip
it
it.
fucking weird. You make it weird. You make it weird. So this is.
I
me
mean,
giving-
I agree with you, but at the same time, so what do you think? He's just gonna go to the 450 class and do nothing?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
Well,
the
I'm
question is it doesn't work on those guys. So how long is he
I
going to play that
understand, but
game?
I'm confused. He's either talented and he's going to be able to run with them, which means, like, yes, I don't think he's going to be able to play all the mind games he does
He's going to
now.
have to start just beating them by beating
But
them
it's
because
still-
he's faster than them, not by playing mind games.
But there's still going to be some of that there. Now, how well does that work? I don't know, but it still is going to work in a sense at some point to some effect. So you think he'll be able to run with those guys?
I don't know if I think he can run with those guys.
So you think he'll be irrelevant?
No, I don't think he'll be irrelevant, but I
Okay.
don't think.
I mean, he'll be able to make something happen.
I mean, So I don't know, man. To be
But
honest,
but
I don't know
like-
where he slots
like
in.
winning races.
I don't think so.
I don't
I don't
know.
think so. I don't think
yeah,
so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so because he didn't dominate Supercross, even though he just won this title.
I'm just not prepared to go that far because anything I thought he wasn't going to be super stupendous in, he's been better than we thought.
If Jet Lawrence and Chase Sexton,
we've openly said this, as much as haters as we are, we've openly said all the time, like, man, that's way better than we thought he was going to do with whatever.
I mean, we give credit when credit is due,
Yeah.
and we respect the guy.
but it's also giving other people credit for how good they are.
Yeah, and now we're speculating there. And yes, I agree. You're going to run headlong into a stacked 450 class wall there. I don't know, man.
As long as
I don't know.
Hunter Lawrence.
As
got
long
him
as
covered.
I
Jet Lawrence,
understand. I'm just go. No.
as long as Jet Lawrence and Chase Sexton are there, and then throw Coop in there in Supercross, he's not winning a title.
I think he falls into that second tier. Of
I think he
dudes
falls into
with
Hunter Lawrence and Hunter
Lawrence
and Jay Coop.
Hunter AP J Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
That
not
kinda
touching
deal.
the top dudes.
Which again,
Jason Anderson.
Nah,
Saw
he's
on
gonna
wheels.
be. He's gonna.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I can't wait to see it.
Me neither.
Trust
I think
me.
it's gonna be awesome.
You got
but
another
I just,
dude, and like when he enters that 450 chat next summer is going to be awesome.
But I believe that part of his thing of why he has been so successful too is because dudes spaz out when they're around him because they're always worried about, dude, I leave the door open. This kid's gonna run me wide. I'm either gonna go over the berm or I'm gonna lose the front end because obviously he has so much natural talent. He knows how to put himself in situations and just rarely ever goes down.
Yep.
But-
it reminds me a lot of Barsha kind of bullying his way through the 250 class.
But he's not
Yeah.
going to be able to get in Jet Lawrence's
Yeah,
and
I
those
mean,
guys'
I-
head.
yeah.
So how long is he going to do that before he realizes it doesn't work? And then you're like, all right, man, I just got to try to be better than these dudes.
Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see how it goes. That's
Honestly,
high
I
on my
think that
list
there's
here.
going to be so much heat there. I think that the first time he tries to play that game with Jet or Hunter, I think they're going to punt him off the track. I think the Jet might, for the first time in his career, found somebody that he genuinely cannot stand, and I think he will go out of his way if he gets fucked with to take him off the track.
It could be.
I believe that, and that's not me
Could
just
be.
trying to like hope it happens because I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But I think Jet will finally found somebody that he does not like, that he will go out of his way to make contact with him.
Ralph just put a great point here. To your point of him Barsha-ing his way, bullying everybody through the 250 class.
I mean, he kind of did,
Barsha jumped in the 450s and did it with Villo and Dungy.
and then it stopped,
Well, I mean, it did
I
stop.
mean,
So that's
he
my
won
point.
his like second round, and then that was it.
and then it stopped. So that's my point. It stopped.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
And
I don't
also,
know. I don't know, man.
Deegan isn't Barsha because he doesn't actually like saw off dudes' front ends.
I don't know.
He
man.
tries, but it doesn't really work all the time.
The-
Barsha he takes out lappers back in the day.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Roost shit out of rocks.
It's
after he lost
it's a
that one.
question. It's a question that we luckily don't have to wait that much longer to answer because
Yeah, I
we're going to
can't
see
wait.
it next summer.
Can't
Well,
wait.
he better get better at Supercross if he wants to beat Jet.
We're going to see it next summer there. So anyway, all right.
Oh, one last thing. I
Oh,
like
go
how he
ahead.
thought he was tough for getting up at 6:30 every morning.
Wait, what?
Oh shit.
In the press conference, he's like, "I get up at 6:30 every morning to fucking grind, basically."
That's awesome, dude. I've already been up for a few hours.
If you don't get up at 4, go fuck yourself. Which is
not up at-
amazing because he watches fucking what's his nuts there, David Goggins so much. You would think it'd be, man, get up at 4, let's fucking rock. But
Bro, David Goggins runs like 10 miles and has a hard on while he's doing it.
Yeah, I
It's weird.
understand.
It's very weird.
yeah, I
But
don't
it's
know
a
how
lot
you get
of-
that
it's
much blood flow going both places at once.
I
It's
don't
weird.
know. It's very awkward. He did like a full-on interview
Blue
with
Chew.
Israel Adesanya, and he just had a stiffy the whole time, and the camera's like trying not to like. They were like laughing when they got him on camera, and it's just poking out the running shorts. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
God, I gotta get some blood flow going.
God, bro, what?
Blue Chew.
My shit is not good.
Blue. Jesus God.
All right, can we
All
run
right,
through this?
yeah,
This is
let's
getting
yeah,
weird.
let's move on. Juju second there. That was he had a good ride last night in my opinion.
Just
Like
bad starts.
I wish he
Yeah.
would have got a start because he was
He was spicy in practice.
he's feisty in the pits, feisty in the.
He was feisty in the pits. Probably went over to Hayden and be like, Yo,
God,
bro.
dude, it's past my bedtime. He's
Tell you
feisty in the
what.
feisty in the whoops too, but just the whole congratulations thing and all that stuff with Deegan too. That just kind of, I don't know. That solidifies to me that it was kind of fake drama.
or he's,
Hardpack
or he's trying to get signed to Star.
Hardpack Juju is a real thing. That's all I'll say. Hardpack Juju, real thing.
What about Juju being hard?
What the hell are you talking about?
Hardpack Juju. Juju ruts, no. Hardpack Juju,
No,
yes.
dude. He said track doesn't matter.
That's cool.
Dirt doesn't matter.
He also
Well,
mentioned
that's a lie.
the shoulder held him back, and then when he was off with the shoulder, he wasn't eating right because he was afraid he was gonna
Boop.
gain weight and all
What?
kinds of stuff. Yeah, seriously.
Well, you know, Davey
So-
probably handed him over what was in the
So
locker.
all like rookie stuff like that, you got to learn, right? But,
Yeah.
Dude, he was back in action.
He was good. He was good.
He
Just
looked
bad
really
starts.
good.
Just bad starts.
Yep. Marchbanks third. I was surprised how good Marchbanks was all day, actually.
I was kind of surprised, but then I got to thinking like he is a Utah boy, and that dirt.
I mean, dude, he could win next weekend, and it wouldn't be a shock.
Yeah, like that dirt and elevation and stuff. He just kind of, I think, knows how to ride.
Well, he's been grinding outdoors, and then when he got back on Supercross, he's like, man.
I think some guys need to do that though. I think some guys need to take an outdoor week like halfway through the season.
I mean, Adams did it, and he was
Drew
fine.
Adams,
He was
yeah,
fine.
they said the same thing for him. Like, I
PC
think some of
boys
these
just
guys need to
grinding.
do something different.
Just grinding at Glen Helen.
All right, Jordan Smith fourth. Okay.
What a Jordan Smith night in the heat race.
Dude, I was really waiting for Cole Thompson to just punt him.
I was waiting for him and Cole Thompson to simultaneously die in the whoops when he sent it in the inside.
Bro,
See
he's
that?
oh my god.
All
dude.
it took was one guy to step a little bit.
I think it was like this much of a gap between bar to bar.
I needed Art Ekman to go, and they're bar to bar.
Oh, that would have been perfect, bro. That'd have been perfect. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, Jordan's just gonna send it down the outside, just fucking wide open, and he's gonna go level up with Cole.
And here,
Yep.
and
You know,
here's the
Ricky and
worst.
Lee aren't going to say bar to bar. And
I-
hey, by
I
the
almost thought he
way,
was gonna die.
by the way,
By the way,
I should have put this in the halftime. And we're talking about broadcast stuff. Dude, I watched it last night, and I had volume up where I was actually tuned into what was going on and being said. And I miss Ralph Shaheen. Never thought I'd say it.
I miss Fro.
I would rather have Ralph Shaheen and Fro than these two turds.
James Reed is killing it right now. I
Like
miss
Ricky, I think Ricky is worse with Lee. You throw Weege and like Stu in there, Ricky ain't bad.
Well,
Well, we
that
get Stu
Honda's
next week.
just-
I think Lee brings him down.
Fro. We get Stu next week.
Yep.
I think Lee brings
I
Ricky
miss,
down.
I miss Fro. Ralph's fine. I mean, he's been
Ralph was a turd too, but
he was there, but I mean, I'll be honest. I think that Ralph, even though half the time he was just talking nonsense, at least when like something was going on, even though if he was getting names wrong, like him being pumped up for a race or a battle, like actually was interesting. Where like Lee, and he did this in IndyCar, he gets over the top excited.
Yeah.
Like he sometimes forget that he's on TV and people are watching him, and it's
they
like,
don't
dude,
they don't even know who the guys are. Like Kellen Brower was better than them.
I don't even want to
That's
talk about
a
Kellen.
whole nother story. Anyway, Cole Davies ends up fifth.
Learned a lesson.
You should be proud of that though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey
100%.
man, hey
Proud of
dude,
that ride.
and that kid, like he wears it on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I want to point out Cole Davies. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, is he an East Coast like ruddy dirt kind of only guy?"
He's all over.
This proves otherwise because
Yeah.
he's all of it. I guess
Anybody-
Glendale could have proved that.
Anybody
but
else notice Gypsy walk over and give him a hug after that?
Well, I mean, you got to figure.
I was like, "Yeah, Gypsy's right in his eye."
Yeah.
You got to figure New Zealand, Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're,
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
probably watched
Yeah.
Cole grow up. Yeah, man. He's probably gonna come out and fucking dominate in Salt Lake. to be
Yeah, it'll
honest
be
with you.
interesting
I
to see
re-
how he bounces back from some adversity. Hard weekend.
Yeah, he probably wins by a lot next weekend, to be
I
honest
mean,
with you.
yeah, he probably
He's
is going
He's
pissed.
riding like a pissed off bull.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting because this will be the first time we'll actually get to see like some like anger because he's so composed.
Oh, yeah.
So like, what's it gonna look like if he's like pissed off?
Mm-hmm.
And if he comes out and dominates, especially with the fact that the East Coast boys have to like win, so you know they're going to be trying,
Yeah.
that'll be like, okay.
Mhm.
I just want to see some like
Yeah.
urgency out of him.
Yep.
Because we've seen the compose. Now what's
Yeah.
it look like when you really got to push?
Yep. Cody Chalk, sixth.
Just another good year. man.
Yeah.
Kinda just
Solid.
a random
solid
fist
result.
pump on the line.
Yep.
I mean, dude, he's just happy to be riding dirt bikes, bro.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be sneaky good outdoors. I've been saying it.
I agree, bro.
Probably.
I agree.
Michael Mosman, seventh.
Michael
Dude, he
motorcycle.
was in the mix, but
Mhm.
Juju gave him a little front wheel action. Saw
Yeah.
about him, but dude, heat race, he had Davies' number in that heat,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
even for first half of that main too.
Hopefully
Mhm.
he doesn't have a retirement party for himself again.
I mean, what does he do? He's got to be out the door, right?
I don't know.
He did get a podium now.
Not sure.
Arlington, yeah.
Yes, I mean he got a podium this year, which for a rebuilding season and what that dude's been through, that's
Bro, if you're a star though, and you look at the fact of like who's on your team, you're like, you got Deegan, we're not getting rid of him. You got Davies, well, we're not getting rid of him. Well, you got Pierce Brown, well, probably not getting rid of him. Max Anstey, no. Thrasher can still win, no. So we have Mosman and Dax.
Dash
Shit.
is gone. Moseman.
Yeah, Thrasher got re-signed, didn't he?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought so.
So you're like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're full over there.
wild.
Interesting. Drew Adams back, 8th place, which was funny because I was just thinking about him when they were on Race Day Live when they were like, Drew Adams is back. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was kind of like, when I saw him on the report, I'm like,
Should have waited because
yeah.
I was like, man, like you're gonna come back all hot to trot in Supercross and it's gonna bite you like it did the first time you came,
Just
and then
lock
your
into
whole
outdoors.
outdoor season's gonna be ruined.
Just lock into outdoors, bro. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, I get it. He wants some game
Well, I mean,
drops,
I
but
think
lock
he's
into
only. I think
outdoors.
he's just working outdoors. I've seen videos of him riding out west. So
Yeah,
I think
he's-
he's
I
just
mean,
It
he
doesn't
looks
matter
good
when you
outdoors.
get to Denver and you fucking eat shit in the woods.
Well, that's true
No.
too. Shimoda 9th.
Just another bad starts as well.
Obviously, I think his head's not in it with all the noise going around.
Out the door there. Enzo Lopes 10th. Cool. Cole Thompson 11th.
Mm.
Dylan Walsh 12th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his best finish of the year, I think. So.
Avery Long 13th.
God,
Gap-
dude, almost him and Lux Turner.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like for
yeah.
a minute, I didn't know if that was if that was Avery or Lux, and when I saw that, I thought it was Avery. I'm like, dude, this kid.
I thought
cannot-
Lux was dead for a second. You
Yeah, I
think
mean, he didn't move.
You
Yeah.
think he passed concussion protocol?
No,
100%.
no.
About
course he did.
about the same way as Vial passed it last week.
Yeah.
Gavin Towers 14th. Robbie Wageman 15th.
Wait a minute. Can we talk about the Phoenix team for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So I know that you watched this dude's because I heard you made mention of him in Indy. Brandon Ray. Is B-Ray? Did he get signed by Phoenix? He was rocking the gold-rimmed Honda. Is that like his thing? Because Phoenix.
That's his thing.
Okay, never
That's
mind.
his thing. You're
'Cause
talking Brandon Ray.
Yeah, because when I saw the gold rims, I'm like, nobody else does that other than Phoenix, and I'm like, did Phoenix just sign him because they're done with Evan Ferry
No,
already?
B-Ray's his thing. Oh, I forgot he still existed.
Yeah, I mean, he was one spot out, I think, of making it from the LCQ.
No, I forgot Evan Ferry still existed.
Oh, I mean, it's debatable whether he does.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, go on.
What's B-Ray's Instagram?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He can do some
Oh, I'm on
turndowns.
X, that's why.
Anyway, moving on here. Parker Ross 16th, Hunter Yoder 17th, Brad West 18th, Derek Kelly 19th, Lux Turner 20th, CJ Bernard
Good for him.
21st,
First
and,
main event he's ever made.
Yep,
Yeah.
and Max Sanford 22nd.
No, that's B-Ray's own thing.
Okay.
Okay.
He was
Because when I saw
rocking
the
Whiskey Throttle Racing on the side of the bike.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, when I saw the gold rims, I'm like, did he get signed by Phoenix?
Yeah, no, it's a good call there.
It's weird how Phoenix has just made that their thing and nobody
Yeah.
can run gold rims on a Honda anymore.
Yep.
That's fact.
So that's been your 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Pro Flo Racing. Make sure to check them out, profloracing.com. And now we are going to jump right into our Rev X segment.
Bring it up, homie.
We don't have very many. We only got 4 tonight.
Okay, well,
it's
go
better
ahead.
Than 0.
All right, first one. Justin,
Oh boy.
I was scrolling on Grinder, and it's a little
Scrolling?
weird that I saw your profile. Are you okay?
Never been on Grinder, but thanks.
Is
No,
that it?
Totally fake.
I figured
made
it
that
was.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead. Let's hear the real one.
NL Mac. Now that Roxon is out for the rest of SX, can we have the debate on him? Is he the greatest premier class racer to have never won a title? Supercross, probably, obviously. He is ahead of Bradshaw and Wyndham for career wins. I think he's got the most podiums without a title as well.
Yeah, I totally forgot to bring that up in 450s, but Kenny's out for the rest of the year here, which is no surprise. I mean, when you've got, one leg and one shoulder, it's hard to ride.
He was riding outdoors during the week and snagged it.
What?
The ankle.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he's riding
Oh.
outdoors just to kind of switch things up a little bit and was going around sand rollers around the corner. And
Oops.
Yep.
Well, that'll happen.
I mean, it's probably down to him and Wyndham.
yeah, between
Yeah.
him and Wyndham.
yeah,
100%.
basically.
I
mean,
think the
they
nod
both-
goes to Kenny, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's been definitely closer, but I mean, there was a lot of times where like Wyndham, like, led the points quite a bit, a few different times, just like Kenny. But yeah, it's probably Kenny, but it's those two.
Yep. Zach Ruth. Not a question, but a stat I realized last night once Deegan won the title.
No boy.
If we are now counting SMX titles when it comes to total amount, and if Deegan defends outdoors, he'll be the winningest 250 rider ever title-wise with 5. 2 SMX, 2 MX, 1 SX. RC, Jet, Stewart, Vilpoto all have 4.
Good thing we don't count SMX.
So
Well-
I'm not to the point where I'm counting SMX
I'm not
yet,
yet
but
either.
that's the direction they're going.
I was.
That's what they're trying to do.
This is what I was gonna say. I mean, it's not our cup of tea, and especially you, because you're more old school than I am, even. But that's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be one of those things that's our job to differentiate pre SMX / post SMX.
Yeah.
Because yes,
Post
he
SMX, yes, he's better, but
Yes.
pre SMX,
No,
No.
because he doesn't have
No.
the wins to even come close to those
Doesn't
guys.
have-
no,
wins.
no, not at all. So, good question.
And he just isn't dominant in Supercross yet.
Yeah.
Jared, why are you asking
Although
this
I
question?
mean, if he okay, so but
Oh, hang
back the train up here.
Choo-choo!
Pretty hard to back a train up.
He won won the Supercross this year, won outdoors.
Yeah.
If he wins Supercross, or if he wins outdoors again
Mhm.
and then wins a Supercross next year, that's 4.
No, I'm just talking about the sense of like winning, how you win Supercross titles. Like the title's the only thing that matters. But I'm talking about if you're going to put him in that conversation where you talk about the differentiating, he wasn't as dominant in Supercross as far as wins and stuff like that those guys were.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I was gonna
like-
say that, and that would
that
probably
would be
the
only
stat.
if he gets to 4.
Yeah, and that would probably be the stat that it comes down to then is amount of wins essentially.
Which is when you get to be that when you win
Yeah.
that much, like you got to start nitpicking things.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. Continue.
Jared Riley. Oh, Jared, why you got to do this, brother?
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
What are the rules about Volan running a handbrake? In
No.
my opinion, this
Pass.
would give him an advantage in right-hand first turns
Pass.
and corners. Doesn't the bike have to be as per production as far as controls are concerned? I'm not sure on the rule book. but-
Pause. No, it doesn't. There's only certain things that have to be production. You have to have production cases. You have to have a production frame
Mhm.
that can be altered with There's certain bracing that's allowed, but
you can't take weight off.
Yeah, but you can't take weight off, and you can't change certain dimensions of it. And then
Which they
the
probably
swing
do
arm
anyway.
has to be production length.
Which is the
That's it.
difference between having a factory bike over here and a factory spec bike in the GPs.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Zach Ruth with another one.
Is it a banger?
Hot take after seeing Moto Twitter react to the Deegan Davies pass. The Deegan haters are more annoying than the bed bugs. If you let a 19-year-old kid riding a dirt bike get you this upset, you need some serious anger management counseling, Justin.
You mean like just like the Deegan bed bugs get when people talk about him?
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that one.
Yeah. I understand what he's saying, but
I understand it too, but
I think everybody like just needs to chill out because there's a lot of people that are like, why was Cole Davies crying? Like, Dyer coming after Cole Davies?
yeah, he was pretty fired up.
Like the people that are coming after Cole, like
He wanted
they-
to win, man.
they would do the same thing though that if that was Hayden crying. You'd be like,
Mhm.
well, why is Hayden? Well, the people on his side would be like, because he really wants to win. Cole Davies really wants to win.
Yeah, I understand.
I think the whole thing is just shitty because now it's like pitting people against it, and then you start getting everybody on one side like there is everything else in life, and it's like, dude, like none of these people are even living it. So
Denny Stevens coming after you.
who?
Denny Stevenson's coming after you.
Denny?
Denny.
Denny Stevenson.
Debo.
Oh, Debo, really? The Denny Stevenson.
The
Yeah,
Denny Stevenson. He
yes.
interacts with the Twitter account that we
Does
have.
he really?
Yeah,
He's
I
coming
know.
after me.
I
What
go
did I
back-
do?
no.
We're more popular than we know.
No, not actually.
I was
but
about to say, like Denny Stevenson. Why the fuck does Denny Stevenson?
teammates are no one but someone on the track dressed in the same colored gear. Plus, when they race for Star, you could have a dozen teammates. It never stopped Stanton and Bale or LaRocco and Kodrowski for going at each other's throats. This isn't a team sport either. The world has gone Charmin soft.
So he's not wrong. Bale and Stanton definitely got
Soft
into
as
it.
10-ply toilet paper.
Bradshaw definitely got into it. Jeff Matasevich definitely got into it with those guys.
Chicken.
But they were teammates.
But Matasevich never was teammates with those guys.
But
He just went
LaRocco
after-
and Kodrowski were teammates.
yeah, and once again, there's got to be some respect there. Like, bro, if you and me are on the same
You're
team,
Charmin soft, dude.
if you and me are on the same team, if I can't pass you just by being straight up, I'm not running you wide.
Well, that's why I'm going to make you my bitch. Because I'm going to clean your shit.
Well, then you're a shitty person. Then
We're not boys.
if we're teammates and you between
We're
those two,
teammates and we're not boys.
but those two, everybody said they were boys.
Well,
Yeah, I
People-
just disagree with it. To me,
people
it's not.
say we're boys.
To me, it's not a moto thing. To me, it's not a moto thing. It just comes down to a character thing. I think
I'm going
that's
to steal your chick and take your front wheel out.
I'll fucking put you in a guillotine, bro.
You won't, though.
I will
because
choke
you,
the
wo-
shit
you
out of you.
won't. You're a loony
You're
leftist.
just telling me that you wouldn't do anything to a teammate.
You're a loony leftist.
If you're gonna start doing all that, we're gonna actually fight, not take it out. We're gonna take it off the track.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, but that cash is still going to look good in my bank account after I win the
Big,
title.
big leftist.
Yeah, if I put you in the hospital where you can't use it.
Were you on Westage yesterday?
No.
Like in front of Harding's, like between the hours of noon and 3 p.m.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of your friends were out there.
I don't know who you're talking.
They were
about.
having some big feelings out there.
Oh, were they? Were they
Some
out there
big-
with some? Were
some
they out there
big-
with some signs?
Some big feelings with some big signs.
Were they upset about
Your people were there.
My people.
Your people.
My
Feelings.
my Filipino people.
Feelings.
My
Did you
Filipino
drive
people?
by? Did you drive by and honk on your Tesla?
You know what? We'll talk about it here off the air because I don't want to get the YouTube demonetized or anything, but like that. But you know, some of Justin's big.
But
feeling
anyway, if
people were
Justin's
there.
my teammate, I'm cleaning his shit. I don't like him anyway.
Well, I'm a better person than you. That's the difference, I guess. I just
With a lot less money in your bank account.
still don't care.
And a lot less
Money-
on the result sheet.
Money goes only so far, bro. If
And
everybody's
then when
pissed
you
off-
get-
let me
And
know
then
how
when you
that
get
pays
and then
for
when you get third
retirement.
in the championship and I win, you're gonna get demoted to Hep
look,
Suzuki.
look, bro. If everybody hates you, and you make a lot of money, none of it really matters.
Yeah, but how many of these guys are hanging out with each other after?
A lot of them. A lot of them. We talk. The reason why I say this is because all we hear about is how everybody's motoing down with each other. Whereas back in Ricky and Stu and all their day, nobody rode with anybody. You're by yourself. All we hear about is I'm boys. Like I didn't know Ryder D and Juju were boys. I didn't know that. Had no fucking idea.
What
all
do
of a sudden, all
you
they do is-
mean? They both train with Millsaps.
I'm talking
every
about-
day.
I'm talking about back in the day. They were boys.
I'm talking post-retirement though.
Yeah, dude. If I
Is
can't have my
RV and Dungy just out at.
I'm
Paula
talking mid-career.
together?
I'm alienating myself. I hate everybody, and I'm cleaning your shit.
if my conscience isn't clean at the end of my life, I don't really care.
Come on, let's rip.
Fuck out of here. Why don't you take
All
your
right.
left side handbrake and go suck a D?
Is there any more in the Rev X
Justin's the
thing?
kind of guy that would run one handguard.
Is there any more in the Rev X thing here?
No, that's
X segment
it.
because
That's
it's
it.
9:30. I want to go
That's
home.
it. I just wanted to get old boy fired up.
All right. Okay. Well,
Let's go to the go-kart track. I'll show you teammates.
I'm
oh,
just
Lord
better
have
than you,
mercy.
bro. I'm just a better person.
Lord
than
have
you.
mercy. All right. This has been episode number 305. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank all of our sponsors for being on board with us here. Hopefully the multicam setup seemed okay for everybody. We did have a couple small technical errors. The camera on them
Let us
kind
know
of
in the
overheats
chat
and
if
stuff.
It was good.
But yeah, let us know in the chat there. And yeah, because this is only going to get better. This is day one of actually having this setup going. So with that being said, want to thank Rev X Products for putting on the show. Make sure to check them out. Get yourself some max power. Want to thank Complete Racing Solutions, Flo Racing, Gutter Worx, Holster Co., TLR Coatings, NANO XTREME. Thank all of them for being on board. There are links in the description down below. If you want to watch us have this stupid show live, join our members area. It's down there. I want to thank you boys for being here once again.
Yep. Closing thoughts.
One more, and then we're on summer, which will have our rotating cast of characters come through here to do shows. I've got you locked in for your 2 shows. You and I need to talk after the show because I need to know your 2 so I
don't
can
know
start scheduling other people. Well, you have to figure that out because you have first dibs.
Okay.
So I need to know.
Wow.
I need to know by like tomorrow.
Get first dibs when you win championships.
I need to know by like tomorrow what shows you want to do so I can start scheduling people.
Hey man,
Yeah, I'll
you
figure
know
it
what
out.
I was realized as I was leaving to come here?
Go ahead.
and Is this change anything? Next Sunday is Mother's Day,
Yeah.
Yep, that's a thing too.
and I cannot do Monday shows. I'm too fucking busy, which I assume both of you guys are as well. So
Looks
like
like
that's
you're bailing around early. That's not a championship mentality.
bro. If you guys can only do the show on Monday, I can't do it. I just cannot. I am too fucking busy right now. So that's why I ask: are we still doing the Sunday show? So I'm letting you know now. If we can't, I unfortunately am going to be out.
I mean,
That's why I'm asking.
It's better than a no-call, no-show, Travis.
Bro, I didn't no call no show last time. I told y'all.
Pause.
That's why I'm serious. That's why I'm asking because I thought of this
I'm
beforehand.
just-
I know you little bitch.
I don't know.
That's just why I'm asking now because I thought of it.
Unless y'all want to do a live show Saturday night while we watch the race.
I mean, if that is the only way we can get the show out where all of us can be in it, I have no
I'll be out of
problem.
town.
Oh, you're gonna be out this weekend.
I'll
Oh,
be
so
on
you
the-
can't do
I'll
the
be on
Sounds
the
gay.
other side of the state.
So you can't do the show anyway.
I'll be with Sebastian.
Unbelievable. Anyway,
Are you for real? You're out of town? Is that?
I
yeah.
am.
Okay, well, we will have to try to figure this out because the other thing is we haven't done an outdoor preview yet.
Don't we have at least 1 week or?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not trying to do anything that week other than put shows out, but I'm not trying to record that week. I'm trying to get it
And
recorded.
and if you're talking about the week before Memorial Day, I don't even know if I'm gonna be in town either.
Oh shoot! When is Memorial Day?
It's earlier this year.
Mhm.
It's 2 weeks from now.
Oh, is it really?
So it's obviously not.
I got
this
a camping trip planned. Dang.
Yeah, so it's the 24th, 25th, 26th that
Okay.
weekend.
Okay,
24th?
24th.
Get outta
that
here.
week. Yeah, it's not the end of May this year. It's the week before. It's the 24th, 25th, 26th weekend.
Who decided to do that?
I don't know. Fucking the American calendar. Yeah, bro. I think it's like the 26th.
It is.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I didn't mean to
Wow.
like fuck this whole up. I brought it up because I thought of it on the way over.
Thank you for fucking my entire fucking month up.
All right,
now.
well, I'm gonna leave now.
Really appreciate it. So, all right. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the show at some point next week.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning into the Moto Aftermath Show. If you guys like the show, make sure to give us a thumbs up there with that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a show update, a live show, or anything that we're doing here, because when we find out news, we will be on here bringing you our thoughts with it. Also, if you guys want to help support the show, join our members area. You'll get member exclusives, including live shows. You get to watch the show being recorded live, and you'll get all sorts of other member benefits. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Join the members area, subscribe. We'll see y'all on the next one.